I claim this planet in the name of Negro. Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? How y'all doing? Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Blazing, what's up with it, bro? You're more than welcome to come up if you want to be added. You're more than welcome to come up if you want. Just let me know. Anybody that wants to come up is more than welcome to come up. Just let me know. We have a call-in number. We have on Haps. You can join Haps and join us. Reality's terms are much more enjoyable. Yeah, absolutely. I will agree with you on that, good citizen. So I was just in a stream where they were talking about marriage. And I'm gonna start with this because it kind of that's cool. I got you then. Let me do that. And the thing is so this guy literally fucking just said that the Bible is talking about men and women being equal. What up with it? What up with it, bro? You want to come up, Tony? You can come up, Tony. You're more than welcome. Just let me know. I don't mind you coming up for this talk. You know what I mean? What's up with it, Blazing? How you doing? How you doing?
I can't hear you. Shoot, hold on. I'm gonna have to fix this. I'll be back.
All right. Where the hell does it say that? Yeah, I don't know where it says that. Honestly, I guess the one part that you could say you should find someone that is equally yoked, but that's about it. Everything else does not say that. I will when I finish here send the invite. All right, then I'll do that shit. So what's up, Blazing? How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, my man. I was just in Sunday Smoke
Podcast,
broadcast,
yeah,
and I noticed your facial expressions when Edward was talking.
yeah.
And I was really I think you and I probably had the same opinion. I've talked to Edward plenty of times before. I know his heart's in the right place. I know he has a very strong biblical foundation, and I find that very interesting.
Right.
I'm an atheist myself. I have a lot of conversations with other Christians and stuff. And, it's an easy way to sesh stuff out. Anyway,
no, I know Edward also. I've been knowing Edward for at least I think something like 2 years because he was on Periscope with me, and so me and Edward, because I know the Bible, right? A lot of people have not studied the Bible like I have. I have close to 35 years in the Bible. I own a church still. I was supposed to be taking over from my dad when it comes to pastoral duties.
wow.
So when he says stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's a lie. You know what I mean? Because I can show you many different Bible verses that says that's a lie. You see what I'm saying? And I don't like the misrepresentation of it in order to suit your needs today, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In order to try to make it seem like this religion is somehow good, when it's very clear that this religion is not good, that there is enough evidence that shows that the morality that sits within that book does not hold water to what we consider good morality today. So I have a major problem when he comes and starts spouting that stuff. Not to say that he's disingenuous, not to say that he's a bad person, just saying his understanding of the word is off.
Yeah, his belief is very earnest and it's very sincere, and yeah, it's I mean, I agree. but that's an interesting point you brought up, and I think that's religion as a whole,
Hmm.
especially the Abrahamic ones.
Hmm.
They've had to bend themselves to society over the years instead of society bending to them.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes, and I
No,
think that's getting
I
more.
agree.
It's more and more apparent, and I think more and more people will pick up on that. So,
No, absolutely. Now, I mean, you already said you're an atheist.
mhm.
Um, how far would you go on when we talk about religion? Um, how hard do you think? Do you think that religion is a cult or no?
I think there are cults. I don't think like all religions are cults. I mean, I think there is a delineation between a religion and a cult. Cults are typically smaller. They're more indoctrinated. Like their dogma is more self destructive than like religion. I'm not saying religion doesn't have like a a self destruction built into it, especially like Christianity and the whole revelations. But I mean, uh, like when you just pose like Jonestown and the White Hood Brotherhood or whatever it's called, like those ones that
Hmm.
would, like there's definitely like, see, that's another thing. Cults definitely more of a small bubble kind of mass hysteria in a way, I guess.
So,
Um,
what do you think? And I don't mean to interrupt you. Do you think
no,
that
go ahead.
once, let's say, a cult gets a certain amount of people, it's no longer a cult; it's then a religion or something?
I think no. I think it also depends on how the rest of society accepts that that organization into society, and how that organization also participates in society. There's definite varying degrees, of course, and I think cults are usually, like I said, most self-destructive and more destructive as well. Um, there's a whole lot more brainwashing, of course, in cults, and it's like at a faster pace. Because cults are, I mean, most cults people aren't typically born into. It's like after people are born, they get into cults. I'm not saying kids aren't born into cults, but they are. Like Scientology. I think Scientology, even though it's classified as a religion because of its size, I think it's still a cult. The way they have their how they brainwash their people, how they keep them in captivity, how they're isolated from the rest of society, and that's the big thing. Cults are more they like to keep their congregates or their believers more isolated from society as a way of control. Um, there's a person. Oh, cults. There is I forgot the guy's name, but he developed what's called the BITE model. BITE. It's an acronym for behavior control. Um, oh shoot, it's B's for behavior control, E's for emotional control, T and I forgot what it was for, but it's different types of controls to keep people within a cult. I think that's a good model to judge what a cult is against a religion.
Okay. And I saw. I see what you're talking about. The bite model. Um. In my so before you brought up the bite model, I want to ask you, what does how does Christianity differ from any other cult?
Well, I think I think there are cults that follow like the Bible. You can consider them a Christian cult. I don't think all of Christendom is a cult. Now, I think there's a good argument for Christianity itself. In the beginnings, it was basically a cult.
Well, then
There's
when
been
did it
so,
change? When did Christianity, being that it started as a cult, in your opinion, right?
mhm.
It started as a cult. When did it become not a cult?
When I think when Constantine, one of the Roman empires, Constantine decided Christianity was going to be the religion of the land and dubbed it so. I think that was one way like society adopted a cult into the category of religion because now it's accepted as a whole of society. Granted, it wasn't voluntarily accepted; it was forced on it, but still, it was forced in society. It became part of society, I should say.
And totally as and I respect what you're saying. right? I
Hmm.
totally do. And I don't want you to get this and take this any like the wrong way at all. But what I think what you did was quite literally outline the cult. And the definition
Okay.
of cult is a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the second is a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. Okay.
Hmm.
And then the third part of it is a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Okay. Now
Hmm.
we have those. Then we also have, according to your bite model, right? It's
Hmm.
B is behavioral control. Okay. I is information control.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
T is thought control, and E is emotional control. Now, the thing is Christianity does all these things. And even by what you said, well, I think it started as a cult.
Hmm.
You don't start as a cult and then magically become something else. I think you are always a cult. If you start as a cult, you're always a cult. I don't think that can change
Okay.
just because the number of people that believe in it. And I think that's kind of what lightweight people are actually saying is, well, it's not a cult because, so many people believe it. And I'm saying, yeah, that's not necessarily accurate. Just because a
Oh,
lot of
I
people,
agree.
believe in a certain cult doesn't mean it's not
Hmm.
a cult. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, yes, I do. I see what you mean, but I wasn't making the argument that the definition of a cult is only the number of participants. There's a lot more to it than that. Again, like I say, Christianity. There's a good argument that it started off as a cult,
Mm-hmm.
but over time it did grow into a religion, just like any other socially constructed concept can change and meld and become something else over time. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
No,
it's
no, and I,
possible.
and I, and I get you, and I totally get you. I won't argue that. I think you have a legitimate argument. A lot of people would agree with you that you can't. That's not a cult, right? I do think it's a cult, and the thing
Okay.
I think all religions are cults. To be completely honest, not just some. But I do hold a higher regard for Abrahamic religions because I think they are very cultish, right?
Mhm.
And the thing is let's go through this. And what's up, Tony D? How you doing, big brother?
What's good, man? I
Hey, Tony.
appreciate the invite as always. I know you want to go ahead a little bit more on what we were just going through. We got my man Blazing Blaspheme over there. I was looking at the stuff at the beginning. What did I miss? Because somebody was like, "Where did they write something at?
I'm not
Where
sure.
the hell does it say that at?"
Where the hell does it what? Let me see.
Good
Definition of
citizen.
religion, a pursuit of interest in which
No, it's at the
someone
very beginning,
describes.
bro.
Oh,
It's at the very beginning. Somebody said, "Where the hell does it say that?" I don't know what happened, but I missed your intro. I know your intro. You was going in. I know you.
yeah, you know me, bro. I can't stay in the room with Edward too long. I mean, I respect his
Oh, for real?
ideals. I can't. I
Oh,
really can't.
it was good
Well,
citizen that said
for you, you
something
know what?
about
The
that.
fact that you even respect where he's coming from because he's trying to keep positive, but you're starting to see a twist in the words. I got you on that.
Hmm.
One thing I will say is he never tried to take advantage of anybody with what he says. He just
Hmm.
tried to put a positive aspect on the mindset of it instead of
Right.
killing it. And I know how deep you dig into religion. That's all that,
Right.
man. Just
The question was about me, a woman being considered equal in the Bible. Yeah, and they're not equal. And I don't know who believes that. But real quick, let's go over this thing because I actually like this. And I think I'm gonna, look up, pay attention to this a little bit. But the bite, um, the method, right? And
Hmm.
I like it because it says behavior control and it gives about 25 different examples. So it says
Yeah.
it regulates an individual's physical reality.
Hmm.
Does Christianity do that?
I don't think so. I think Mormonism is categorized under Christianity. I think
Hmm.
Mormonism is a cult because the way they treat your body as a temple, and they force their believers to live a certain way for the physical world.
So
I
does
think in
Christianity.
that regards, yeah. Uh, like I said, Christianity as a whole, there are parts, yes, but not all Christian sects do that. I mean, could you give me an example of another way besides the Mormon one that I gave? I mean,
Yeah, every single last one of them.
okay,
And that's
okay,
the problem because
okay,
okay, and,
but
and,
can you
and I
give a
base this
specific
off of
example?
okay, the Bible tells you don't eat shrimp, don't wear
Yes.
cotton a certain way,
Uh-huh.
don't do this, there's
Mhm.
613 laws, quite literally, okay,
And
in
so,
Christianity.
yes, I agree,
So so that
and that's
that is regulating individual physical realities.
mhm.
That is
Yes.
clearly what it is doing, right?
Yes. That's why I think there's an argument for the beginnings of Christianity to be a cult, because if you look at Christendom now as a whole, like how many Christians actually follow the rule don't eat shrimp, don't wear mixed fabrics and all that stuff. I
That just
mean,
means they're
Yeah,
it's
bad
you could smash
Christians.
that.
that just means they're
You could
bad.
smash the hell
Yeah.
out of that. He's right. He could smash the hell out of that because they
That just
consider the
means
Old Testament to be history.
well, you can
Yeah.
say that,
So
but that's not. But according to Jesus, Jesus did not change the laws. Again, he said,
No, he did not.
I came to enforce the laws." Okay, which
Hmm.
means the 613 laws were came to enforce them. Okay,
oh
not so they
I
leave. The
it's
only rules and laws that ever left are the 150 sacrificial laws. Those are the only laws that disappeared when Jesus died on the cross.
I think that's a very good argument from a biblical standpoint, like arguing Bible against Bible. I look at it this way. Like, it doesn't matter if the Christian is picking from the New Testament or the Old Testament and choosing what to pick. It's just cherry picking. It's fallacious. It's a fallacious approach to religious belief to begin with. Just opening up the book, like, I want to choose this law to to follow, and that one I don't want to, because at the end of the day, it's just about what makes them feel good about themselves and what makes them happy. and
Right.
and
And
and I
I
think
get,
and I
and
think
don't get me wrong.
that within itself is dangerous, because people have cherry picked that Bible to do freaking like atrocities against human societies for like millennia.
Right. And
It's
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
confirm over 100 million deaths based strictly on religion. Okay. Through
At
religion.
least, at least that's for real. At
and,
least,
and,
at
and
least.
so the thing is and let's just go through these, because let's be honest, because I read the Bible, I know the Bible, okay, and so if you're a Christian, you go by what the Bible says, not what people are, how people are using Christianity today. And you see what I'm saying? And this is the biggest problem when people try to delineate, oh well, Christians today, and that's not what the Bible says. Christians are Christians and they're supposed to follow the Bible, period. Okay, so it says dictate where, how, and with whom the member lives and associates or isolates. Well, again, we can see Christianity does that too. Why?
Again,
It
not all of Christendom does. Like, for
no, but we
example,
can't say that.
like
All and that's a bullshit. And I'm
yeah,
sorry, I gotta push back
yeah.
because you can't keep on using that as an excuse.
Well,
Christianity
it's
is the
but
Bible. It is not
you're
any sect.
Let me
That's
jump in on that one. Let me jump on in that one. His defense is,
okay. Yeah,
remember how he
okay.
said
Go ahead.
before that every aspect of Christianity, all the different sects of Christianity, they don't all practice the same.
Yes.
That's his point, and that would be mine
and,
as well.
and
You
I
got
get that,
Christianity as a general of
it's
multi different sects.
and
They
I
yeah, it's
all,
totally
as
agree.
sect B and
it's
SECTS, they all
it's
practice and worship
Let me
differently.
ask you this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Name a Christianity. Show me where Christianity says that two men can lay with each other.
I don't know any of them.
okay. Okay, I do.
I don't.
So
Where?
there's actually a Queen James version of the Bible out. It's for the
Yeah, and that's false.
LGBTQ. Okay, regardless. So do you know what a true Scotsman fallacy is?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're committing right now. Just because
No.
a Christian, if somebody calls themselves a Christian, they identify as a Christian, regardless if they don't believe the entire of the Bible or they pick and choose. They're still a Christian, the same as like a Methodist or a Baptist. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's and so I think I think
I get that, but
yeah,
what you're
yeah, yeah.
doing, and it's not a true Scotsman fallacy, and the reson why is because they don't study out of the King James. They study out of the, as you just said it, the Queen
Yeah.
James.
And
Okay,
there's
now,
there's the NIV, there's the
okay,
there's like
I
there's
get it.
multiple
Let me
versions of the
finish.
King James.
Again,
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Okay.
The problem is the so-called Queen James Bible is not the Bible that anybody supports. The only group that supports that is LGBTQ people in order for them to justify having their Christian belief and being gay.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that it's not.
A religion
Hold on,
adapts
I'm
to
not
society.
done. Hold on, I'm not done.
Okay, sorry.
But that's not Christianity.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying is it's very clear. And again, people can use these ideas of, well, they have the NIV version and they got the American Standard version and they got, the classic King James version and they got the Gregorian, they got all these different fucking kinds, right? All the Bibles minus like maybe a few books, add a few books, or few words might be changed. The Queen James Bible quite literally is not the same thing. So that doesn't stand. And if you look at all of what Christianity views as the proper Bibles, and I mean, and across the whole spectrum outside of the LGBT, none of those groups will ever accept that because it's not an authentically written book.
And just like a Methodist wouldn't accept a Baptist interpretation of the Bible.
Interpretation is different than book.
That's the whole point.
No, the Queen James version is just another interpretation.
Have you read the Queen James?
No, I haven't read it, but
go read it and then come back and tell me that.
The point being is the Bible has had so many interpretations over so many thousands of years. It's committing the no true Scotsman fallacy and special pleading when you say these are real Christians, but these are not. Even
I'm not saying
themselves real Christians.
Christianity calls it. See, and this is the problem. That is not a no true Scotsman fallacy, because Christianity, the Bibles, the oldest Bibles, tell you what Christians are. Not me. I'm not making that distinction.
Actually,
the Bible, the word itself, tells you what a Christian is. You can't change that.
The roots.
Let me jump in on this too. Right, let me tell you something real. The biggest problem we got, bro. The biggest problem we got is everybody's got different interpretations, and nobody has the very absolute truth. He has done a lot of research. He's messed me up with some of the stuff that I've read. I could tell him what version of the Bible that I read. He'll tell me how wrong I am. And I do know for a fact that the Bible, the version that I read, came after the 33rd version of the Bible. So all of us who don't have anything from back in the first version of the Bible are looking kind of lost. No disrespect to anybody up here of any religion who believes in God from what they've read. What we have got to understand within each other and ourselves is the interpretations that we have read are not the original writings.
Right, and biblical interpretation holds no explanatory power. Absolutely facts.
Yes. That's the whole point. If y'all can understand that, then you will understand where he's coming from straight up.
Right.
I have to jump off here in a moment, but I do want to say one thing, if that's fine.
Go ahead.
But before there was a Bible, Christianity existed, and Christianity existed in different ways. It was like multiple sects, smaller sects, but it was all verbal stories before it was ever written down. So even the beginnings of Christianity didn't even completely agree on what Christianity was. So, and it's still like that today. And they even have books now.
So, I know you gotta go. Catch up with me during the week, and I can tell you a lot more of where we can compare the notes on it. I love comparing notes with people on what they believe.
Blazin, I appreciate you being on here. I hope you do come back, and we will talk about this for sure.
Hell yeah!
So I do appreciate you coming in.
Hey, thanks for the invite, guys. Y'all have a great one.
That's right. So, and again, if anybody would like to come up, you're more than welcome to. All you have to do is have an account on HAPS, or you have to call in. Those are the only two options that we have available. But if you want to come up, just let me know, and I will invite you up. Okay. The thing is, again, if we're gonna base what we're talking off of Abrahamic belief systems, I'm basing everything that I'm talking about based off of Abrahamic belief systems. I'm not basing them off of any kind of new age Christianity. I'm not basing it off of any kind of the Queen James Bible. That's not what we're doing here.
I've never heard of that.
I know it. I've actually read a lot of it. So it's not Christianity, right? Creating a new religion and calling it and putting the label of Christianity on it is not what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about things that are based in the Torah, Tanakh, the King James, and at the very least, at the very oldest, the Quran. Okay,
Mhm.
outside of those, I'm not talking about them.
And I
You
can't
understand?
front on you. The Queen James version is one of the LGBT
Yeah,
Bibles.
yeah,
I did not even know they. Holy shit! Do me
yeah,
a favor. While you're going, I wanted to read what you had on the screen. I didn't know
yeah.
what that was.
And we're gonna go through that. So,
Okay.
again, let's go to number three. Number three, does Christianity do this? When, how, and with whom the member has sex. Does Christianity do that?
What is this based on? What is this? What is this list about?
This is based upon Stephen Hassan's bite model, and this is based upon what he believes is a good outline where you can tell what a cult is or what a cult is not.
Okay, let me see the first three. While you asking, can I
The
read that if you don't
first,
mind?
yeah, go ahead. Do you want me to send you the
No, I was
link?
gonna say put it on the main screen. I
Okay.
couldn't read it. I couldn't read under the words. I want to see what you was talking about. I
All
tried
right.
to catch up
So,
where you at before I jumped in because I know better than talk to you without researching some shit.
all right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it on the main screen, but I'm also for anybody else.
I got you. I see the
There
link.
it
I see
is.
it.
There's the link, and then this is what we're going to do. Here it is right here. So here is the bite model, and I actually like the model. It's not a bad model. So the very first number one is it regulates individuals' physical reality.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Number two, dictates where, how, and with whom the members live and associate or isolates.
Yes, they do because religious people don't want you to challenge to be with anybody outside of your church.
There you go.
That's true. That's true. All bullshit
Number
aside.
number three, when, how, and with who the members has sex,
They prefer you to be with somebody of the same religion. They do that.
and the same and the opposite sex. So they try to dictate.
I mean,
You
same
know,
church. That's what I meant. The same church.
right,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I said that wrong.
right. So number four, control types of clothing and hairstyles.
They want you to carry yourself in a professional manner, not a whole manner. Yes.
Right. But it also says in the Old Testament, and they never took away the law, no mixed wools, you know what I mean? Shit like that. You see what I'm saying?
I don't
So
remember that, but good. Okay. Okay.
so again, that's a yes for that one.
Yeah.
Jesuit cunts. You know what, Gary? Look it. I already know everybody don't get offended by the unicorn that's in this motherfucking room right now.
You
The
know this dude?
unicorn, the unicorn is Gary Duncan Miller. I know him. He is my friend. He
Okay.
thinks everybody who does not agree with him is a Jesuit. So do not worry about it. He is
Hey,
just
hey,
a
he like Wigger. He
conspiracy
like Wigger.
theorist
He one of the
troll.
trolls we deal with.
All right. He is just one of my conspiracy theorist trolls. Don't worry. You know what I mean? It would be more Jewish, but the thing is her story. The fact of the matter is, if you actually read the Bible, and a lot of people actually don't read the Bible, the fact of the matter is, Jesus did not say the old laws were dead. Jesus actually said, I have come to enforce the laws of God. The laws of God being the laws of the Old Testament. Okay. Now, a lot of people would like to move that over and say, well, the new law that was written, the new law that was written upon your heart. Well, that's a gateway out of being able to ignore those laws. But the fact of the matter is there's problems with that verse. Not only are there problems with that verse, but there's problems with that whole book. Okay. And we can get into that in a little while. All right. So let me run through these a little
Yes.
bit more real quick. Um, Number five, regulates your diet, food or drink or hunger or fasting that you have
That's
to
the
do.
Old Testament. Isn't that Deuteronomy or Leviticus that has the rules on the food that you can eat?
Yeah, it's the old law. It's still, again, it's one of the laws.
I have written
Um,
down down too far, but it was off just the wool on chain. I ain't seen it. Now, her story, let me tell you, like I said
mhm.
earlier, he has researched it. I know you kind of knew. She's one of my people up here on Haps, and she does a
Okay,
lot of Bible reading. She says she's
okay,
new to being a Christian. So to me,
okay.
I think she's still trying to understand. She won't be at your level.
Oh,
I
okay,
would suggest
okay.
her listening to what you've known about the Bible over your opinion on how religion is, if you would. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I don't, again, I don't want to really shit on your religion, but I kind of do. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Just so you know, when she
Um,
asks you the questions, she's
right.
new to it, and
She's
she's got
new.
a yeah, she's new to
I
being a
will make
Christian
sure I
to me.
keep that in mind. Don't worry about
To
it. I
a
will.
lot of us, with the duration we have, she's new. She's only like a decade, and
Okay.
I will put it on that
I
level.
I will not. I will be as polite as possible to you, her. I will keep in mind the whole time that you are a new believer. So
If
please don't.
anything, elaborate the truth
Okay,
over
that's
the belief,
that's right.
because
I'll do that.
one thing I've seen most people they're newer than me, and I
Mhm.
know how new I am to you. That's why I
Right,
can't.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Right.
right. So all right. Number six. Let's get to it. Number six: manipulation and deprivation of sleep.
I
Now
don't know
that's,
about that.
yeah, that one's a hard one to back up. I will agree with that. So that's that. Let me see. Number seven:
Mhm.
financial exploitation, manipulation, or dependence.
You can put that on the church more than a religion. I would say
Yeah,
the church does that, not necessarily the religion.
but they represent the religion, correct?
They try to represent the religion, but Jesus going off in the church tells you something's wrong with the church in the first damn place. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Thank you.
And this
Thank you.
is why he actually lost his foot to shit. So you're right. Number eight, restrict leisure, entertainment, and vacation time.
Um, Overindulgence of anything, I would say that would fall under.
Right, exactly. Um, major time spent with the group indoctrination and rituals and or self-indoctrination, including the internet.
That's the church, not necessarily the religion.
And but it including the internet. So
Including it in there
self-indoctrination,
because the
yes,
churches are doing the video broadcasts.
right, and they're teaching a level, but I think this has to do. I think my biggest thing with this one is self indoctrination, and I think that's
Yeah,
where that one really comes into play.
I already see you with that. I already see you.
Okay. Number 10, permission required for major decisions.
Marriage, plain and simple. Sacraments, plain and simple. Plain
There
and
you
simple.
go. Okay.
And I tell you
Number.
that as a Catholic because you got to go through the church to get certain sacraments
There,
acknowledged. And
there
when
we
you get
go.
married, you got to go through the church to get married.
That's right.
That's how we were
Um,
all raised, straight up.
Number 11, rewards and punishment used to modify behaviors, both positive and negative.
Penance.
You're already seeing this shit. So
Yeah, I
far,
mean, I've been here. I already.
right. So far, out of 11, we've had 10 definites, one questionable. Okay. Number 12, discourage individualism and encourage group thinking.
I don't know about discouraging individualism. I will not say that. I can't say that.
I
No,
will.
I
I
can't say
will
that.
absolutely say that.
Now,
And the
you have a
reason why,
church background within yourself. So
right.
we
And
both
I would,
know that as much as you got to be a part of the collective, you still have to do your part within yourself through prayer.
right. But the thing is apologetics is absolutely discouraging individualism. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Apologetics is giving people all the same answers. This is the answers to everybody. This is what it is. This is that self indoctrination. Okay. Um, imposes rigid rules and regulations.
Plain and simple. There ain't even a question on that.
Okay,
There's no
good.
question.
Good. 14, punishes disobedience by beatings, tortures, burnings, cutting, rape, or tattooing or branding. Now,
No disrespect to your broadcast. I want you to give 60 good seconds to see who can say that's wrong.
okay, anybody, if you want to say that that does not happen, go ahead and give your argument.
Let me start my stopwatch for this shit.
Yeah, and anybody can do this. And if you would like to come up and conversate about this in this conversation, please Please come up. The number is
14.
14. Number 14. Call me up, good citizen. Okay, I'll add good citizen. Let's see.
Is there anybody on the broadcast that think the church does not do that? When this hits 60, your time is up. You got Sunday Night Smoke, you got Good Citizen, both of them want to come up.
Oh, got him. I got you. Got you.
I do not think that they are wrong in that. I do know that that is done in the church because punished by disobedience, number one, is penance. You have to do prayers for forgiveness. Torture, beating, burning, cutting, rape, torture, tattooing, or branding. That is known in the Bible as well, is it not?
Yes, it is.
That's my whole point right there.
Okay,
so and I was born
so
and raised Catholic. To everybody up here who thinks I'm wrong, all I'm saying is we know what's in it and it has happened. Not saying now, but it has happened, which is
right.
where he's coming from. And
Right.
your 60's up. Who we
All
got?
right. We got good citizen in the room tonight.
What's good, good
and
citizen?
we
What's
have
happening with you?
and we have Sunday Night Smokers in the house.
Smoke, what's good? What her story untold, number 14. We were trying to see if anybody believed that they do that in the church or they do that in religion.
Right, and you're absolutely correct, Mrs. Williams. Jesus did have a thigh tattoo for all those people who believe God does not want you to get a tattoo because no, God had a tattoo right on his thigh. Go read Revelations, you stupid motherfuckers. All right. What's up with it?
Send me that scripture.
Let's get good citizen. I know you wanted to come up for a reason. Introduce yourself and say what's up.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What's good, bro? What's happening with you?
Good, chilling, smoking. Atheist.
Okay, so we have another atheist. Okay, cool. Sunday Night Smoke. You an atheist or are you a believer in God, sir?
I believe in intelligent creation. I haven't really since when I was young, of course, well, I won't say of course because that's not automatic with all families. When you're young, in certain communities, you come up in the church, depending if your family was in the church or not.
Mm-hmm.
After you reach a certain age, I'm just talking about myself. After I reached a certain age, I kind of fell out of the church thing.
Okay.
I do a little reading from time to time. I'm not really the most religious, but I do believe that there is a there is some form of quote unquote higher power because I do look at the complexities in the species and all the animals, the insects, everything we have in our environment. I believe that this is some form of intelligent creation.
Oh, really?
God, this, that, the other.
Okay, we're gonna get into that.
But I
See,
believe
now
in
you're gonna.
intelligent creation.
We are.
Talk to me.
It's gonna be a long night. I gotta go to bed in an hour and a half.
Let's get it. Nah, give me that information. I believe in intelligent creation. I believe
Okay.
I miss my dog, though. I had to be up here.
All right. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get past this first list. I gave out the link so everybody else can look and do the rest of it after we do this one list real quick, right? And then we can get into that because I'm actually interested on the intelligent design argument, to be completely honest. I think it's bullshit, but whatever. But I'm willing to listen to your intelligent design argument.
I don't really have an argument towards it. It's just my opinion. That's just kind of because that's just for my own personal, it's just my personal thing. I won't say I won't claim a religion or anything, but I think that there's probably some type of intelligent design behind all of this. That's my thought process.
Okay, can you give me one piece of evidence on why you would believe intelligent design is honest and true?
I don't have any actual evidence. This is just a feeling that I have from inside.
Just a feeling. That's it.
Just a feeling. And from what I observe, I just don't think that I don't believe that I evolved from a monkey. I don't believe in evolution, but at the same time, I'm not really I don't claim a religion.
Wait.
But I don't believe that I don't really believe in evolution.
Intelligent design actually claims evolution
type of thing.
I was going to say you don't agree with evidence,
right?
Wait. Well, I'm just saying. I'm not a historian. I'm just here for dialogue.
You don't got to be a historian.
But I'm just saying. I just feel, and I'm not here to really debate either. I'm just saying my piece, and that's what the fuck I do. I'm just saying, just nice to meet you, because maybe we never met before, but I don't do debates. I just give my intake. That's it. That's what I do. No
Okay,
disrespect,
okay, all
no
right.
disrespect,
Oh, we can do a debate
no
smoke.
disrespect, brother.
I'm just curious as to why you think like that. That's all.
Right. That's
It's in my
what
head.
we're
I
looking
couldn't
for.
explain it. I couldn't explain it.
It's
But
just
I haven't historically researched it. But
mhm.
that's just how I feel.
All
Okay.
right. Well, then let's go to number 15 with cults. Okay, let's go to number 15.
Let's rock.
Number 15, it says it threatens harm to family and friends. Now, does the Bible threaten harm to
The
family and
Bible has said
friends?
that, but I don't see too many people practicing
Absolutely
it
it
based
does.
on religion or church. I will
It
say that.
absolutely does.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you think that when a person in the church says you're going to hell, do you think that's not a fucking threat?
That's supposed to be disrespect more than a threat because can't nobody send you to hell.
No, that is a threat, sir.
That's disrespect more than a threat. They can't do shit. They can't send you.
Yeah,
We're just talking shit. And I think
But what they're saying is if you don't believe in my God,
yes, they do
he's
that. They
going
do
to
that.
send you to hell.
Right, but you can say fuck
you
them because
believe
they
it?
can't
Fuck
do
you.
it. Yeah,
The
they can't do
Bible
it.
says if you do not believe in me, you will go to hell.
I understand that, but hear me this. Hear me as a Catholic. Hear me as somebody who was a Christian. Everybody's
Right?
gonna tell you that shit regardless. They ain't gonna fucking do it. It's like when somebody come out talking about I'm gonna beat your ass, and if they don't show up, they won't fucking do it.
Yeah, but what that is it's forcing belief based upon a threat.
Yes, it is. But
If
you
you
don't have
give
to
a
follow it.
concept, right, but it doesn't matter if you have the power or not. The
Right.
threat is still a threat. You understand?
It's
So it's
it's
like if I sit
a
here
threat
and
means they're going to do it.
Yeah,
To
it
me,
has to
no,
be credible. Your
threat
threat
means
has
they're
to be
going to do it.
credible to be considered a threat.
Yes.
It has to be
again, but
credible
if
what
you
you're saying.
believe in okay, but you're not hearing me. But if you
If you believe
believe
in
in
their
a
religion.
God,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Copy. Okay. I got you.
Now,
that
mind
is a
you,
legitimate threat.
as a Christian, somebody can tell me I'm going to hell all they want. They don't fucking phase me. And I'm telling you that straight up because somebody be like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You ain't gonna believe shit till they do it.
But
Come to
that's
me.
neither here nor there.
Okay, tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I'm missing straight
No,
up.
Because
if you believe in it, is it a threat? Like, is the say we all believe we were all in the same church congregation together?
Yes.
Somebody says to you, "You're gonna go to hell." Is that
It don't phase me.
that's
And it
threatening?
never phased me. It never
okay,
phased me because they don't have the power to do it. They
belief.
just talking shit. That's my point. But tell me where you coming from though, for real.
okay, where I'm coming from is the Bible tells you this.
Yes.
And they believe in the Bible.
Yes.
And they believe in that God.
Yeah.
And they're saying, if you don't believe in my God will send your ass to hell.
You know
And
what's wrong?
basically, that is believe in my God, or else I'm going to keep on beating you every single day until you believe in my God.
Now let me give you some clarity that I never give anybody. You know, one phrase that I hate is when people say you and your God. On that point right there, I would challenge your God to send me because I don't think your God is strong enough than mine.
And that's why I
really
challenge
think
your
that's a
Bible.
Huh?
And that's why I challenge your Bible.
No, I fully understand that. Don't get me wrong. I fully understand where you're coming from. But when somebody comes to me talking about you going to hell, I'm like, yeah, you going too. It don't
And I
mean
get that point, though.
yeah, I know you do. I'm trying to see where you're coming from.
And I know Good Citizen has something to say. So go ahead, Good Citizen, because I know you had some that you wanted to
My
say.
bad, bro. I like how you said that though. That's an excellent point.
I agree. I don't really have much to say.
He said, I disagree. I know he had something to say. We just kept on talking over him. Tony, we got to listen. No talking over him. We got to be nice to our guests. Stop
Right.
it. All right. Number 16. Force individual to rape or be raped.
I got nothing to do with that.
It encourages rape.
It does encourage rape.
It strongly encourages rape to your daughter. Very specific.
Very, very, very specific. And it okays rape because as long as you pay 60 shillings, you're done. You're good.
What's that equivalent right now in US dollars in 2021?
I have no fucking idea, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Let me go 17. Does it encourage and engage in corporal punishment?
Sure.
In the Bible, it has.
Yeah.
Doesn't it talk about your self lashings and shit?
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
Something like that.
So, number 18, instill dependencies and obedience.
Yes.
Absolutely,
That's
because
in the Bible. Yes.
right, because you have to pray and you have to ask God, can you give this to me? Have I been good enough for you to bless me with this?
Yes, sir. And
That's
they
in
need
there.
that dependence. If
That's
they don't
in there.
for that
Do they mean it
dependence,
literally? They mean it literally,
Literally.
not just like I'm going to work and I'm gonna buy my shit. Like
No,
we don't
everything, if you're a believer, a Christian believer, everything that you've gotten is by the grace of God and God Himself.
Okay.
not because you did it, not because you put the time and effort in your shit. Somebody else did it for you.
Right.
Okay.
Number 19, kidnapping. Oh yeah, the Bible. We know the Bible encourages kidnapping.
Kidnapping came from the victims of wars or the prisoners of wars.
Okay, we can give him whatever excuse we want, but that's what he says, does he? He says it in
Well,
Solomon. He says it in let me pull that shit the fuck up because I'll
No,
show
pull it up,
you.
please. Pull it up,
I'll
please.
show you.
in that
I know
imaginary
she will.
of the removing all those Hebrew slaves that were in Egypt during that time.
That's right. That's right. And that's exactly what I was going to pull up. He
Okay.
said to kill them all the way down to the younglings and the animals. And the women who have not been unspoiled, you take them as your own.
Virgins.
Hallelujah.
Virgins.
Virgins.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Okay. So we just touched on kidnapping, beating, torture, rape, and separation of family, imprisonment, and murder. We've just covered the rest of the gamut. Tell me that this is not a cult without telling me this is not a cult.
Well,
By
the only
those
thing you're
standards,
missing
you would have an
is
argument, yes.
is that on the list too?
Right? So okay, so now check this out. If you guys want to go check out this and you guys want to do your own, questioning of it, please do. Okay, please do. Here it is. Here's the link in the room, and you judge for yourself. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what your answers have to be. I'll tell you what the Bible says they are. That's it. All right.
Now
So
let me ask you this.
go
Based on
ahead.
that list, when
Mhm.
did that list come out recently? Or is that based on what's in the Bible? Or was it just based on a cult and put against the Bible?
This is based upon what today we view cults as, and
Right.
they wrote out all the things, and I am putting the
Right.
Christian church and the Christian Bible and the thought processes against it. That's what I'm doing.
Understood. I got you.
And
I got you.
it's failing
Okay.
the test.
Right. So that's all I'm saying. So here it goes. Murder. Elijah curses 42 boys to death. Why? Because Elijah was walking, right? And they called him, hey, Baldy, and he goes to God and says, God, can you kill these kids? And
Wow.
God looked down and said to himself, yes, my son, I will destroy and smite these rotten ass children.
That's
And
that bullshit.
he took control of 2 she bears, and those 2 she bears ran through them children and massacred them all to death.
Hey, yes, Jesus. Yes, Jesus.
Okay?
You cut that shit out.
Oh,
Okay. All right. All right. All right, we got plenty more examples, right? Because what?
That's right.
When God told Moses, he said, Moses, go to the Pharaoh and tell the Pharaoh, let my people go, which he didn't really fucking say that, but whatever. Okay, let my people go. And he says, and God said, you know what? At first, the Pharaoh was like, nah, I'm gonna keep them. And then God smite him with one curse. And the Pharaoh said, you know what? It ain't worth it. But you know what God did? God said, no, I'm going to harden your heart because I want you to feel my wrath and my
That was the
power.
plague. That was right before the plagues. Right.
Right? And so he hardens Pharaoh's heart and changed Pharaoh's heart. And he said, fuck your free will, tell me no. Okay? And so Pharaoh did exactly what God did. No. I don't know why
Yeah.
no, but no.
Izzy, I hate Giga. I hate Giga ass. He put L up in my
Let that shit rock. Chill. Go ahead.
Giga put L.
I love it.
Right? And so he keeps on hardening Pharaoh's heart all the way until he says, I'm going to take your firstborn.
Shit.
Yes.
And
that
then what
was
did God do? He said, kill a lamb, put some blood on your door so I know who you are.
the
Everybody else is
Passover.
losing their kids. And guess what? God took a whole bunch of babies.
That's
Again,
the Passover. Yes, that's the Passover. Yes.
God kills. I might eat babies, but nigga, I didn't kill them motherfuckers. God did. All right?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck your kids because they don't matter. I created them. You don't fucking have
Look, Giga put L. I can't get over this motherfucker.
Right. Let me look, and let me give you one more example. Let me give you one more example. What
I
did
done
God
got hot.
say?
Oh shit.
God said, if your son, if your child disrespects you,
Mhm.
you are to take him out to the middle of the city with all of the people surrounding him and to stone him to death.
Hell yeah.
Ah!
Damn.
Okay?
Get that ass.
So
Yes.
okay, so these are God's rules. These are not Jesus's rules. These are God's rules.
And he
You
hasn't changed
understand?
the rule that he put in that book. So
I'm gonna go out and say that Edward is probably not gonna be in this podcast. Yeah,
Not.
yeah,
It is.
I hate
probably
James. I hate
not.
James.
It is. I want to thank you for just chilling at the end of the show earlier. Thank you for just saying I'm gonna keep my mouth.
Yeah. I told you he was chilling. I'm telling you he was chilling.
I
I'm
said, "Oh shit."
Listen, hey Smoke, I'm gonna
Thank
give
you.
you real. I was messaging him. I said, listen, man, just go do your show now before you start. When them eyes started going,
Thank you. God damn it.
you're welcome, because that's
I
how
like
this
his
shit
wisdom.
started.
I respect him. I like
Listen,
his wisdom.
when them eyes started twisting, that's how he got into
Yo,
the
I
TJ
know
and what's
my
his
man
name.
is ready to go. I see that. I saw it. I said, "Oh shit." I had to pass the mic back to him. I said, "Fuck it, I got to pass it back to him." No, listen, man. Hey, so big up to you fellas for
Don't worry about it.
letting us have a smooth ending to that.
Right.
I
Don't
saw
worry
them
about it.
eyes going. I said, man, go do your show. Just go. You're already late. Just
So-
go.
Yeah, get back into it. Go for it. My bad.
So we talk about these things. So the thing is I think what we have here, I think a lot of people don't understand a lot of people's stance on this. One of my biggest issues with the Bible, and this is why I don't know if I don't believe that there's a God, because I don't think there's enough evidence, right? And the fact of the matter is not only is there not enough evidence to back up the claim of any kind of God whatsoever, but at the end of the day, your God moralistically, in the way that we live our lives today, is not consistent with the morals that we believe in today at all. You see what I'm saying?
You
I
said
agree.
today. Today is a very key word.
Yeah,
I agree because morals are objective or subjective, not objective.
absolutely.
They have
Absolutely.
to change, or else you're saying that slavery is okay.
And I let me see. I feel like I like was more like something was overlord during the time, because it feels like the Bible, they show a very bipolar version of what they view to be God, when the gods in the Bible are from the beginning. Yeah, basically what she's saying is God had issues. God fucking went from extremely nice to extremely fucked up in a hot second.
Based on disobedience, he did. Yes. Based on
Right?
disobedience. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's true. It's true. But the thing is okay, so let's just kind of get into this, because I asked the question, is God real? That's number one question. Is God needed? Is Jesus real? Is Jesus needed? And is religion a cult? So tell me how y'all feel about this.
Let me jump on it. Real
Okay, go ahead.
without no knowledge of shit. I can say that I don't know if God is real or Jesus is real. But as far as the fact needed, right? Maybe for those that partake in religion, maybe that helps keep them grounded or even keel. So I'm not gonna say that it for some I can say that maybe for those that are religious and those that practice religious peacefully and
Mhm.
believe in peace, prosperity, and minding their fucking business,
Mhm.
I'm all for it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm all for it. I'm all for just peaceful existence amongst people in the world. Point blank.
And
Period. So
and
if
you
that
think
people need
the
that, if
and you think the Bible gives them that?
no. What I'm saying is, if for those, I said for those that practice religion
Mm-hmm.
in a peaceful manner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's where they draw their peacefulness from.
Mm-hmm.
So if people think that if I'm bad and I go shooting up the joint and I'm stealing and robbing and killing people, if I'm gonna go to a bad place for doing that, and if that keeps people from doing fuckboy shit, I'm all for it. That's all I gotta say with that.
All right.
You
Good
know,
citizen. What about you?
people, hey,
Before I answer the question, I got one piece to say to that. That if it's people that are doing good things and practicing the good things of it, that means they're automatically going to hell in accordance to that Bible because it
whatever.
says.
I don't care. Who cares about that? Who gives a fuck?
Well,
Ain't nobody
I'm
fucking
just
with
saying
none of
they're
my
kind of
shit
fucking
that I work
themselves
hard
in
to
the
But
beginning.
attain.
let him finish. But let him
Go ahead.
finish.
My
Keep
bad.
on.
No, you're good. They just fucking themselves over in the beginning on that.
Mm-hmm.
But is God real? Like you said, I'm basically with you on that. There's zero evidence that says yes. Is he needed? Hell no. I live an amazing life without him.
Right.
Is Jesus real? Same thing goes with that about his dad. I mean, I guess he's one of the three forms. So, no, I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe that at all. Um, and is he needed? Absolutely not. Um, it is possible to live an entirely amazing life and the best life you can without the need for a supernatural.
Right. Right. I would actually agree. What about you, Tony?
You know, you and I had this conversation more than once. I've got no
Right.
problem re-elaborating on it. I have felt that God was real. I can't prove it.
Right.
Born and raised Catholic, 18 years. Haven't been to church for real, like I was when I was a child, but I would tell you straight up, I have felt it. Is God needed? Based on how people are teaching it and using it, I think an understanding of God is needed more than people think he's needed because nobody has a real true clarity on what he is or how he works.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jesus real? We've got the story. Most religions acknowledge him or acknowledge his presence.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of leave it at that based on what we were taught.
Right.
Jesus needed. The example that Jesus brought forth due to
Mm-hmm.
the stories we have been taught, I would say yes, because there was an understanding of understanding what the power of God was through a man, which most of us will never properly truly understand. So if we have an example, okay, cool, that'll give us an aspect, but we can, everybody's gonna have their own interpretation of that one. I can't touch it. For me,
Right.
I'm good with it, honestly. Being raised on it, I've had examples and experiences in my life where I have felt God was real. Yes, it's been chastised and characterized, but it has given me a peace within myself.
Mm-hmm.
Is religion a cult?
Mm-hmm.
The religions I was brought up in, no. Is there evidence out there to defy me? Yes, plenty. These motherfuckers with snakes, these people sacrificing, these people burning, all that. I can't debate y'all, but for me, it has not been. My experiences in church were not along the lines of a cult. They were along the lines of growing up, being mature, and dealing with society. You can see that as a cult, fine, I understand that. But I wasn't going out there doing children of the corn shit or doing stigmata or doing exorcism. I wasn't doing none of that. My biggest thing was they was trying to teach people how to grow old. I mean, how to grow up, understand the higher power, carry yourself properly, and that was it. I already know you're going to roast me. I already know you're going to go off. I'm just giving you the
No,
real
no,
answer.
I'm not gonna go off
No.
because here's the thing. I don't see any evidence that God is real. None. Right. I
Right.
also do not feel that God is needed because um the fact of the matter is if there were a God, that God is not actively working in anyone's life.
That was stated in the Bible.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, oh yeah, of course. And you
Yeah.
already know that. But a lot of people like to act like God is actively working within inside of you. Right?
Daily.
Daily. Right? God spoke to me. Right? No, nigga.
They
No,
choose
that
his
was your
side.
fucking head. Yeah, that was your head. That was you talking to yourself in another voice. You know what I mean? That's called like multiple personality or schizophrenia, nigga. Take some meds. Okay. But right? But but um it, you know, it is what it is. Different strokes for different folks, right?
Oh,
Is
shit.
Jesus real? No, I don't believe Jesus is real. I don't believe that Jesus is real at all. I think he's a fabrication. Jesus of the Bible is absolutely a fabrication. Is Jesus needed? No, I don't even think his what the allegories say he did. I don't even think those are needed.
Can I ask you
Absolutely
something
not.
on that
Yeah,
specifically? Because
yeah.
that's one question I never did ask you.
Right.
The fact that more than one religion acknowledges his presence, based on your research, what have you seen and what do you feel about that?
Based upon, say that one more time. I want
Based
to
on
make
the
sure.
fact that one religion acknowledges his presence
Mm-hmm.
and research, what are your feelings and or interpretation of that?
I think it's just easier for people just to allow the idea of some dude by the name of Jesus to live to be okay. I personally don't think there's enough evidence that supports the idea of Jesus. Anybody that says that there's plenty of evidence for Jesus is out of their mind and they've never actually studied the evidence for Jesus. If you try to bring up Josephus, we know Josephus was fraudulent. There was the where he spoke about Jesus. It was put in there most likely at a different time after Josephus was dead. Tatius, if you want to bring up Tatius, he never said that Jesus existed. He talked about the people who followed the word of Tatius. Okay, if you want to go Suetonius, again, same thing. He brought up the Christians, the people who believed that this man lived. If you go Pliny the Hunger, you can say the same thing again. And all these people lived well after the supposed Jesus lived. So therefore, there is no actual evidence of anyone actually speaking, talking, seeing any kind of Jesus. Not only that, but if you bring up Paul, Paul was talking about a spiritual Jesus that he feels he saw in a vision, not a person in life. So the fact of the matter is, there is zero evidence for any Jesus ever existing at all.
Zero physical.
Physical evidence, no. There's no
I've seen
physical.
pictures for it over the
There's
past
no.
few years.
There's no physical evidence, and there is no corroborating evidence as far as during his time period. The closest time that anybody wrote about Jesus was supposedly at the earliest between 20 and 40 years after his death.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I was about to say. And no
Because
pun
you have
intended.
preachers nowadays who will tell you if you could find Jesus' grave, they'll do this and they'll do that. You can find any character in the Bible, you can find any of their grave sites, they'll
Yeah,
do this and they'll do that. So I understand where you're coming from on that.
yeah, and the thing is we can actually go through it, and if I could spend 2 hours on Josephus and debunking
I'm
Josephus
not even
alone.
going to start you tonight because you got
And
a specific focus. I'm not going to start you
will
tonight.
and what I'll say is this: if you read the Flavium Testimonium, and you read Josephus's his works, you can actually go and read the whole book. And if you read the whole book, what you notice is this one thing: whenever Josephus speaks about anyone or anything, he spends time speaking about them and making sure that you understand who this person is. And the reason why this is so important is because it's a style of writing that he's very consistent of. Now, he was speaking about one story about a man who cheated on his wife. He spent 8 different paragraphs on that man and explaining who that man was and what he did. 8 paragraphs. He used 1 paragraph for Jesus. It's not the same writer. If you pay attention to his writing style, it has been confirmed over and over that this has been added later on in history.
I don't believe in no damn unicorns, Reggie. You shut the hell
Okay,
up.
he said there is no physical evidence of unicorns, but y'all niggas probably believe they existed. Man, y'all so smart until you know nothing. Well, the fact of the matter is this. I don't know if you're a believer or not, but the Bible brings up unicorns 16 times in the goddamn Bible.
I
But
was
guess
about
what?
to say,
I don't believe in no fucking unicorn.
I
But you
ain't never
know who
seen
fucking believes in the Bible? All of you motherfuckers who was talking about a unicorn.
I ain't never seen
Recreation.
a unicorn.
There's
I
more
ain't
evidence for
gonna
you.
That again, you can keep on. You can say it's a rhinoceros, rhino horse. Okay, but
I
the
like the
fact of
word.
the matter is, there are
if
no such
y'all
thing
knew,
as unicorns, but yet the Bible says there are unicorns.
apparently the Bible had dinosaurs in it too.
So let's not
Hold up,
go
story.
there. let's really not go there because
Stick with your point, bro. We already took you
I
off
will
your topic in the
dissect.
first
Yeah,
place.
I will dissect this whole thing. I don't believe in the Bible verbatim,
Don't listen to
right?
James, dog.
And,
Don't listen to
no.
James, dude.
Oh, James,
Don't
why
listen
not?
to James is crazy.
Um,
But
He
I
was
have
on
a
the last
unicorn in my
broadcast with him.
pool. Just saying.
He
Well,
was on
look,
the
I ain't
last
gonna say.
broadcast with him.
Look,
Don't listen to
I'm
him.
not gonna say James don't got a unicorn in his
in his
fucking pool.
pool.
I'm just gonna ask him to. Can I see your fucking unicorn in your
He will
fucking
show
pool,
you. He
please?
will show you. He
Yo,
will do that
that
shit.
shit is inflatable, man.
It's
Oh, it's
inflatable.
inflatable.
Inflatable, dude.
And I don't want to see an inflatable fucking unicorn.
Oh
It's
shit!
inflatable, dog. It's a
Like I said, I don't want to throw you off. I know how you get. Keep going.
I don't want to see
Keep
an
going, man.
inflatable
Bro, stay
unicorn.
focused, dog. Stay
Stop
focused.
it. Stop
I'm gonna
it. All
stop
right.
interrupting him.
Stay focused. I'm actually learning some shit today. Go for it, man. Keep rolling.
so, uh, so the thing is, and Pam, I know you're like, this is crazy. Pam, if you want, you're more than welcome to come up. I will invite you. Again, I am kind of giving Christian believers a little bit of shit, but I will respect you. And if you have a different take on things, you're more than welcome to come up. All you got to do is just let me know, and I'll invite you up. All right.
I'll come
So
to make space if needed because I don't know shit. I'm just listening.
right.
Yeah, we can hold 8 on the screen just so y'all know. So if you could bring more,
Yeah.
if you want to come, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So okay, so now that we've all answered this question, the question that I really want to know is why exactly would people continue to believe or even read and believe in the Bible?
You have continue, and that's an excellent point. Most people are born and raised on it. Things you made, I know the change that I see
So,
both sides of the coin.
so do you think it's like indoctrination?
Absolutely. That was my answer.
There's a form of indoctrination that I give you because most of us who were raised up on it, that's what we're going to do. And you know,
Okay.
most kids were brought up in the church to keep them off the damn streets.
Right. And Ronald Torrentino, you need to read it to disprove it. You need to read what to disprove what.
Always get the average version of 6 this. I don't know what
Explain what you mean by that, sir. Because I don't want to
it
take
is.
your words out of context. You know what I mean? So let me the Bible. I what do you think I haven't read the Bible?
Oh shit.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah. I don't know this dude.
Just wondering. I don't know him either. I've never dealt with this guy.
Right. Anybody know who
Okay.
Ronald is?
Again, no, again, Ronald, I don't want you to, and I knew that this was where he was going. Okay, Ronald, I need you to understand something. That the Bible is the claim, sir. And I don't have to disprove your claim. Do you understand what I mean? The fact of the matter is people need to get this to very clear in I read it to find that there's holes in the plot. Right. But you don't have to disprove the Bible. The thing is to show that the Bible is not consistent, to show the Bible has very few things that are actually in reality that can be backed up. I don't have to disprove it. Actually, the Bible is the claim, and people need to validate and back up the Bible and the
Exactly.
claims in the Bible.
And
The
for
burden
those
of
of you
proof.
who are new, he has disproved it already. We have these
burden of
discussions
proof is
all
not
the time.
God.
You better be ready if you come up here.
You're gonna learn today.
You better
Right.
be ready before you come up here.
You have to
You can't
study.
just read the Bible. You have to study the Bible. Exactly, Carolyn. There's no debate from me from that one.
And I don't deny that at all.
No.
Please study your Bible.
But it can't. Yeah, please study your Bible. I encourage you to
And
study
if
your
A
you're
lot
Bible.
of
still
us
okay
who are
with that,
Christians do
reading it
not
a couple
study
of times
the
doesn't have
Bible
a
deep
problem.
enough. I
Start
am
from there.
guilty of that, and I will say that.
Don't-
We do not study the Bible deep enough.
Okay, go ahead, good citizen. I saw you talking. Tony did not see your mouth moving.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
My bad. My bad.
I was saying I agree. I agree with you. Please study your Bible. Read the hell out of it. No pun intended. Read the hell out of it, and please make sure you understand it. Not the first, second, and third time, but the fourth time when you read it, so that when you feel well educated to go explain to somebody on any topic of your Bible,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
please
absolutely.
get those incredible verses in those chapters like Exodus 21,
Oh,
Leviticus, Second Timothy, all kinds
mm-hmm.
of those. You got to tell those beautiful stories of rape and all those pillaging and in favor of and killing innocent men, women, and children on purpose.
Right.
And then you can tell them that these are glorious things to be justified because this is what God wanted.
Right.
I'll be
No,
honest
I
with you.
agree. I agree with you.
KRS-One was the one person who said you can read all the books you want, but once you've read them shits, read them shits again. But watch what you're repeating, because if you don't know the history of the author, you don't know what you're reading. That's why these conversations meet right there.
That's right.
Straight up.
That's right.
Straight up.
How many actual believers in God do we have in the room? If you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind to share your faith, um, could you guys let me know how many believers do we actually have in the room?
I used to be a believer 23 years, actually.
Really? Really? What took you out of your
Made you
believing?
stop believing.
The Bible, reading it as an adult.
Right. Okay, that's right. Right.
Mhm.
Um,
A lot of us don't. Mhm.
Carolyn
Exactly.
says, I believe in God in all caps. In all caps. That's a beautiful
Yes.
thing. So,
Lady Lewis
um,
said a very key point, bro. Lady Lewis said a very key point. I think you might want to
what
put
she
that one
says,
down.
when you study your Bible, pray first with an open mind to receive God if you're not just reading to satisfy your flesh.
That is true.
And you know what? I would have
That's creepy.
back in the day, I would have fucking said, yeah, that's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I
would have
know.
said, I would have said that shit. I would have been like, yeah, that's right.
Girl.
Um, but I actually find that to be absolute nonsense now.
And disgusting. And
Nowadays.
Now you do, right.
Yeah, nowadays I find that to be absolute nonsense.
I find it to be truly and genuinely disheartening, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Me
Let
too.
me ask you why. If I was to ask both of you, and both of you have been Christians and they left,
Mhm.
why would you find that to be disheartening right now?
Go ahead.
Because,
You can go first because I know mine.
well, because when you truly understand what love is, or what sincerity means, or what honesty means, or what actually giving a fuck about somebody means, and then trying to relate that to something that is doing nothing but duping you into believing that you're doing the right thing, but
Mhm.
it's actually a poisonous act towards every fiber of your being.
Right.
So seeing that, it's sad. And then you see your loved ones and your friends doing that, and they think that they're honestly doing the right thing, but it's just like, you don't understand, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing for me is saying you have to fully open your heart. Again, um if that's what you need to do in order for God to actually capture your heart, then God is not as powerful as you claim him to be. The
Hmm.
fact of the matter is, if God wanted you to believe in him and God wanted you to have faith in him, God would show you that without you needing to have an open heart or an open mind or anything. The fact of the matter is God would have that power. God is an infinite, all powerful, all knowing being. God knows these things. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people, so you want him to force you. The fact of the matter is you have no free will. And if you think you have free will, then explain to me Exodus 21.
Yeah.
Explain to me actually
Explain to
not
me
just
first.
Exodus, explain to me Exodus 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Go ahead. I'll wait.
And here, I'll cut 21 in half for you. Just do the first 6 verses and then tell me how the fuck that's okay. How that you
Right?
think that that's how you should treat somebody. And if
Right.
you can explain to me and justify that, in the end, actually, before you finish, I'll do you a favor and tell you you're a sick motherfucker. I have to, by default.
Right.
I mean,
Because the thing is let's put this all in perspective, right? Let's really put this in perspective. God, according to the believers, he's all powerful, is he not?
That's what
yeah,
the book says, yes.
Okay. He's all knowing, is he not?
That's what the book says, yes. All knowing, all
He
seeing.
all knowing, all seeing. He knows everything before you go and do it. That's what he says, right?
That's what
That's
it
what
says.
we say all the time, right?
yeah,
God knows, God knows the move I'm gonna make before I make it. Right? Because God is
yeah.
going to guide me, right? God guides you, right? You think that's not some sort of force doing that? He's not turning you to that direction. That is not free will, ma'am. The fact of the matter is this, if you pay attention to it, God knows exactly who's going to be in heaven and who's not. How do we know this? Because God even tells you himself. He says, many who believe that they are believers are not truly believers and will end up in
That's true.
hell.
That's true. That's true. That's
Right?
true.
What did he
That's true.
say? He
That's true.
said that. I didn't say that. He said that.
That's
Right.
why you don't argue about being a stronger believer than somebody else. What you got to argue is what the truth behind your religion is.
Right. And so the fact of the matter is this: if God is all knowing and all powerful, and He created everything, He said, "I knew you before the earth was formed." Are you serious? He said, "I knew who you were before the earth was formed," which means He knew if you was going to be a sinner or if you was going to follow Him correctly.
Exactly. So he made you to go to hell. In the
Right. Tell me, prove I'm
Created you.
wrong. I'm using the Bible. Prove me wrong. I'll
I'm
wait.
of the darkness. I'm supposed to be that piece of shit.
Right. I'll wait. Because I use the Bible to destroy every single ideal. Not only that, but even if I did believe in the Bible, I would have stopped believing in the Bible anyway, because Jesus said, God was going to come back already, and He should have already came back. You know what I mean?
What was the date on that?
Expose the date? Oh yeah, one generation
Hold
after He fucking died on the cross.
Ooh, a minute ago, huh?
Wait, here, you want proof? Mark 9, verse 1.
I'm not asking for proof. I trust you.
No, I'm just telling everybody else in the world.
I'm like, Philbin, I know you study this shit. I'm just here.
Yeah,
I've never heard of Inanna. That's what I'm looking up now.
I'm learning.
Mark 9, verse 1. Read it. Go ahead, read it.
I don't even have a Bible on hand. I may not even own one in the crib. There may not even be one in the house, dog.
I think
I don't have religion. I'm just.
I think Tony has a Bible. Tony, you got a Bible?
I'll pull one up. I got two different versions on here.
Yeah,
but they're talking about the original version.
I got one here. I ain't worried about it. I'll read
Call it up. I'm on the
not the Queen James.
Not the Queen.
King James.
I ain't got Queen James.
Not the Queen James. Not the Queen James. The King James.
Wait, there was
give me a version to look at for real.
All right, so here, let's read it.
Version,
let's read.
Which version you in, bro?
I'm in King James. I'm in King James. So you ready?
Hang on. I got to go to King James instead of this new NIV one.
Right. So the fact of the matter is, I'm going to start reading. Mark.
Give me the scripture.
Mark chapter 9, verse 1. And He said unto them, who is He? He is Jesus.
Right.
Verily, I say unto you. What does that mean? Surely I'm about to tell you some shit that's some real shit.
Right.
He said that there be some of them that stand here.
We shall not taste of death till they have seen the kingdom of God come with power.
Right. Now hold up real quick. Now let's pay attention real quick, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't know how to read properly. Because when you read, which shall that there be some of them that stand here, you thinking about you in your lifetime. But He's not talking about you, you narcissist. He ain't talking about you. He's talking about the people that's around Him, listening to Him at that time, right then and there.
Thank you. That's why I said that earlier. Back then, not now.
And he says, let's continue. He said that there will be some that stand here right now, which shall not taste of death till they have seen the power of God come with power. Now, let's break this shit down. Even if there was a brand new born baby right there that was actually just born, until the end of that generation, God has to come back. The fact of the matter is He ain't never come back, did He? Which means Jesus was wrong. So either Jesus was a liar, and I know you ain't gonna sit here and call Jesus a liar. Are you calling Jesus a liar? Because I'm not gonna call Jesus a liar. Are you gonna call Jesus a liar? Jesus said His Father will be back before everybody that's standing around Him dies. Oh shit. I'll wait. Y'all that keep on trying to, and I'll back this up. I got supporting views all by Jesus. Here, let's break it down real quick. Let's break it down one more time. You go to Micah Let me make sure. Is it Malachi or Micah? It is. It's Malachi. Malachi chapter 4. Malachi chapter 4. Let's do it. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Hold up.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Do we know who Elijah was? Absolutely, we know who Elijah was, because all we got to do is go to Matthew. Go to Matthew. Motherfucking, let's go. I think it's Matthew 23. Let's check. Let's make sure. Matthew 23. Okay. And in Matthew, I gotta make sure exactly where it's at. Let me make sure. Because I don't want to give y'all the wrong verse. But basically, he tells you exactly who Elijah is that came back. Who was it? It was John the Baptist. John the Baptist was Elijah reincarnated. Oh shit. So John the Baptist has been dead. Jesus already said he was going to come back within one generation. Guess what? God still ain't came back. So Jesus don't know what he's talking about, nor does God. Because God said, I'm going to come back when Elijah has been reborn. Oh, yeah. I'll wait. Anybody? Go ahead. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait. I got plenty of time. I got a seminary degree that says that I know this shit. That's what I got. I got a seminary degree that shows that I know this shit, that I study this shit. Anybody? I'll wait. Anyone?
I ain't got nothing for that one. I ain't gonna lie. That damn Giga told me to repeat the question. I can't stand Giga.
Fuck out of here.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Fool said somebody FedEx me about it.
See, the fact of the matter is, you're right in your perspective and your timeline. And we're right in our perspective, in our timeline, just saying. Actually, no. And the thing is I know, James, you're being a troll right now, but you know what? A lot of people actually say that. You know what I mean? And no, there is not a perspective. We have to understand something, that the Bible is very clear about what it says. A lot of people like to say, well, God talks in, with what do they call? What do they say when he say he talk in parables, right? He talking parables, right? But the fact of the matter is, people overuse that statement, because the fact of the matter is every time God speaks in parables, he tells you, I'm going to speak in parables. The problem is y'all try to act like y'all reading this Bible, but the fact of the matter is you're not reading the Bible. How many believers in God believe that abortion is wrong?
Most of us.
Most of us. Every one of you.
Yeah, parables are very convenient.
Most of us.
How many Bible God believers believe that abortion is wrong?
Most of us.
Most
and
guess
who ones who don't believe is wrong more than anything? Men.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who are these people voting for? Because they these policies into play that and I don't mean to bring politics into the game, but I just wanted to say something because I'm here.
Go ahead.
I'm here. God damn it.
I really put it more on men who believe in it more than women. Women have to deal with the consequence more than we do, and we want it done to not get caught up in the nonsense.
Okay,
maybe. Years in the house.
Now, if you know some women that believe in it, they're harder than us.
Ronald Valentino in the house. What up?
So let's break it down. If you believe God said, right, that abortion is bad, let's break it down. Numbers chapter 5, verse 11. Oh shit, I'm about to hurt your feelings right now.
Go in.
Numbers 5:11.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 11.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner, and the spirit of jealousy came upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled, then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of it, I don't know that word, ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offer of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. That sounds like a sacrifice to me. That sounds like a sacrifice.
Keep on going.
And the priest shall bring her near, and set her before the Lord, and the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle the priest shall take and put it into the water, and the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering, and the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse. And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, If no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causeth the curse. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall change the woman with an oath of cursing, and the priest shall say unto the woman, The Lord make thee a curse and an oath among thy people, when the Lord doth make thy thigh to rot, and thy belly to, and this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels, to make thy belly to swell, and thy thigh to rot, and the woman shall say, Amen, amen.
Basically, and we can keep on going because it goes even deeper, but what he's saying is this. What they do, if a man believes that his woman has cheated and defiled herself and she's pregnant with some other child, then they go to the priest, they get the bitters and the holy water, and they put them all together, and she is to drink it. Now, if she hasn't defiled herself with another man, guess what? The baby will not be harmed. But if she has, the baby will die, and her thighs will rot, and everything else will rot with it. So that is legalized abortion by your God.
That's disgusting.
Wait a minute. Let's read this one more time.
Shit.
If the baby was his, the water's not going to harm it. If the baby
water will
wasn't
not
his,
harm it. Yeah.
If she was
if the baby wasn't his, the water was going to harm it.
so if
It's
it's
gonna
pottery,
primarily it's gonna harm the baby. It's gonna kill the baby.
if
Right.
it's not shit, the baby dies. If it's real and loyal, then the baby lives. Is what this is. It's
Right.
new to me. I'm having fun with it at the same time, guys. So
And
please,
that's pretty
forgive me for
much
not taking it too serious.
that's pretty much you trying to put the power of your faith into something inanimate to see if it's going to work.
See, so the thing is a lot of people want to try to act as if, oh well, if you're not understanding. No, I perfectly understand. I was gonna do this shit for a living. I was gonna sacrifice my whole life to do this. You see what I'm saying? So, oh
Do
my,
something with
oh
Shatira,
my
dude.
thighs gotta rise,
Listen, do
right?
me a favor. Tell Shatira ass to get on Haps because I know she be up here playing this shit.
My thighs gotta rot.
It wouldn't make sense.
Look,
Your thighs gotta
look,
rot because you've been dying.
and
You've been
I
fighting.
need y'all
That's
to
right.
understand this. I
The
need y'all to
water.
understand it. Just like all you people who believe that the people can lay hands on you, that was taken away by God in the New Testament also. But y'all still want to believe this shit.
Drop a bomb on that one.
See, the thing is y'all read the parts of the Bible you like. You don't read the whole Bible, and then you try to say, well, some of it was written by men. Well, now you're taking away power from your own God. How is what you think your almighty powerful God who created the heavens, the earth, the universe, this planet, all the motherfucking plants, the animals, and us? You think he couldn't get somebody to write this motherfucking book the way he wanted it written? Is that what you're saying?
Moses
What a
did that.
dumbass.
I know that's not what y'all saying. I know that's not what y'all saying. I know you believers are not trying to negotiate the amount of power your God has.
That's never supposed to be done. No.
Well, what about the story about the steel chariots? He couldn't defeat
Oh,
that.
there it is. There it is.
See,
So
I
the
was
same.
never a theologian, so I can't sit back and tell you I know every aspect of the Bible. But a lot of times when he covers this,
God
I'm
could
like,
not
okay, where
defeat
you at?
steel
What
chariots.
section you on?
See, the fact of the matter is, look, I'm not trying to shit on people. I want y'all to read the Bible correctly. As a matter of fact, I actually teach believers how to read the Bible correctly. Not only that, but I actually have a whole bunch of people that have thanked me, and their religiosity has actually gotten stronger because of the things that I've taught them about the Bible.
In your teachings,
Yeah.
have you gone to the writers of the Bible and where they got their interpretation from?
No, I actually go and read the Hebrew. I'll read the Hebrew myself.
Now,
Um, and the thing is we don't know the exact authors of the Bibles, so therefore, you can't go and question any of the writers. You can't question what they were thinking, what they went through, what they experienced, or anything else. You can't explain none of that because we don't know exactly who the Bible writers are.
see,
Let's just
that's
be
where I'm
honest
at.
about it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at because you got the Dead Sea Scrolls, you got the Sumerian text. There's a lot. I think there's still some stuff before that. They
Right,
got the Dead Sea Scrolls as the oldest aspect of it, or the
right,
oldest origin, if you will. For
right,
me, we need to see a lot where the original came from to actually get somewhere. They're
right,
talking about the lie that we taught. The same way you want people to leave Christianity alone because it's a lie, we need a lot of you all, no disrespect, who were taught it and taught how to read it to know the truth behind it instead of just giving us what they told us. You know what I'm saying?
right. And I'm not trying to convince you guys that to not believe in a God. What I'm trying to get you
No, I
guys to
know,
do
I
is
know.
actually read what you believe. That's all
Well,
I
you got to
want.
dig into what you believe in. You can't just sit back. See, Christians, and I will say this as a Christian to all of us out here, we just read the book and accept it. They're
Right,
killing us with that.
right,
There's a lot of power in it, but they are also side kicking us
right,
hard.
right,
Yeah, we can make money. Yeah, we can get popular. Yeah, we can gain a little bit of prestige, if you will, which is also taught in history when we was in high school by the
right,
Greeks and the Romans. But
right.
the truth is what a lot of us need to get into, even if you're new to religion. Honestly, straight up, because I know I used to go to church all the time. I was in church enough to know when they started doing the same scriptures over. I'm like, wait a minute, and I'm not just talking about the holidays.
Right.
So all y'all
Right.
going to church know what I'm talking about. That's one of the reasons why I come up here and I get into this. What's up to Black Light Revelations? I saw
What's up,
Constance
to
up there.
Rob? Yeah, I saw that. I saw
What's
that.
up, my
So,
dude?
Big up
so what I'm gonna
Constance.
do?
Constance be dropping. She dropped that one jewel on your broadcast before,
She
but people
did. She
slept on that.
Constance
People
be getting
slept
it
on it.
in. Look, this is what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna challenge y'all to do. To other believers that are still in here, if there are any believers that are still in here, again, I challenge you to read the Bible like this. Take out all the chapters and all the verses. Write out one chapter of any book. I don't care what book it is. Okay? Go to the Hebrew and write out the whole chapter, taking out the verses, punctuating it correctly according to Hebrew and the modern King James text, and then read the Bible. Once you do that, come back and come talk to me.
I'll give you one
But,
to start with.
but
I'll
you
give
have to,
everybody one to
but you
start
have to write out by hand the whole thing.
because you'll understand it like that. I'll give you an aspect. In the Bible, it says, when I became a man, I did man things. Break that down.
What? Say it again. When I was a
When I
what?
became a man, I
I
did man
became.
things.
Yeah.
I no
Okay.
longer, yeah, I no
He
longer
said.
spake as a child and all that.
Right, because I do not act as a child. When I was a child, I acted as a child. And when I became a man, I put down childish things and did what men do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's basically what that verse is. So again, we have to. Again, a lot of people are actually acting like children. I think this is so important because the fact of the matter is when what God is telling you is when you're a child, you are taught things. When you're a man, you learn things and you study. You understand?
Now, that aspect I never thought. See, that's why you got to talk to people of different aspects to understand a little bit more clarity on it. Because
Right.
my thing was, if you became a man, you did man things. As you grew up and you learn more about the world, you learn how to deal with the world. What you said was a little bit different from my interpretation. That's what I get out of conversations like this. I ain't got time for the drama. That's for
That's
everybody
real
else.
shit.
I don't care what y'all believe in. I don't care how y'all was raised. We all got to try
Right.
to understand what the real word means. And we only going to do that through our own interpretations because everybody got it wrong.
Right. Real quick, Lorena, can you give any kind of evidence that God is real, as you say in caps? Is there any evidence that you can give to me that God is real?
Rob ain't shit.
And I know, and what she's going to say is, look around you.
Never learned.
But that's not evidence.
It's not. Hey, I'm gonna shut down, man. I gotta get up in the morning for real. Big ups to
Oh,
y'all.
you scary.
I ain't scared. I gotta be at work. I got a career. Fuck y'all. Good citizen, man. Good catching up with you, man, for real. Smoke already know what it is. Everybody in the chat, y'all know what's going on. I'll holler at y'all later though, for real.
That's right. Stay up, Tony.
All right, peace.
Peace, big bro.
All right. So again, I pose that question to you, Lorena. Please,
Lorena,
if you
pull up.
could.
Pull up.
Yeah, and you are more than welcome.
Pull up.
You are also more than welcome to come in, and I will invite you, and you can verbally tell us why you believe God is real with capital REAL. I'm more than willing to listen to that.
Look at what Roland has to say. Wait, we need to have a definition. What
Mm-hmm.
do you mean, God? The
Okay,
word God must be defined first. I guess
right.
that's before God
And
is real thing.
when we're talking, and I'm talking on an Abrahamic belief system level, because that's what most people are going with when they say God. If you are going from a different type of God, then please inform me. But if we're going with the, you know, this Abrahamic God, then we already know the definition of the God. But I don't want to assume, so you have to tell me. You know what I mean? Tell her to anecdotal evidence don't count in court, and it don't count here. Absolutely, anecdotal evidence does not. I was under the impression we were all God, as in all Buddha. I mean, that can go a lot of different. That can go in a lot of different directions. That can go in a lot of different directions. Is degenerate cult that goes hand in hand with racism. Absolutely, I agree with that. Can she bring witnesses? Witnesses of what?
Witnesses of God is real. I think that's what he means by that. Remember, she said God is real. And he's saying, can she bring witnesses? Like, can you prove it? Can you bring witnesses to prove that God is real?
Yeah, I guess if those witnesses have something legitimate to say that holds water, I guess. But
we can't even get the plaintiff up, let alone witnesses.
Jehovah's man. He said Jehovah's Witness, baby. He's a fool. Yeah, you know, and I posed the question of, can you give me proof of God? And I usually, and I didn't even really ask my legitimate question whenever someone says God is real. I actually ask, can you please give me evidence of God, not counting the supposed actions that he supposedly did, which means you can't use, well, he created the universe, or look at the sky, look at the earth, look at the sun and the perfect distance. Those are non-answers. If you know,
That's an ontological argument.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
failed.
it has failed many times.
Yeah, these are things that are there, but we just don't know where they came from, basically.
Right. And so the thing is we can always say God at any point, right? But the fact of the matter is, can you back up that claim? You know what I mean?
Well, here's my thing when it
Go
comes to
ahead.
people making. My question is this: where does the courage, not courage, but the confidence, because the courage comes from the ass, obviously, but whatever. The confidence in your understanding that you can prove a God, well, specifically this God, that is
Mm-hmm.
at least 2,000 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going to be the very first in all of human race to do this, and it
Mm-hmm.
always comes down to your opinions and
Mm-hmm.
this faith. thing. But because when I say that, how is faith such a suffice amount of evidence for you to believe into something when faith requires absolutely no evidence
Mm-hmm.
for it to even exist in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
It just it blows my mind. Like when I go back
Right.
to
That could be the catch-22. That's the catch-22.
Right. I don't understand how you
You
can
have
use
faith.
faith. You don't. Yeah, you don't have faith for anything else in your life.
That works. That works hand in hand with the religion. I'm not
Right.
pro or against religion, but I just I always say the word play. I always say the word play, Izzy. The word play, faith. You don't have to have evidence to have faith, and
no,
I
you don't.
totally get that part right there. Copy.
Well, faith is just an unjustified belief. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's not based on evidence. It's
It's
just a
not
belief.
based on anything. Right.
Like my
So
intelligent creation thing. That's just how I feel. I can't prove it.
right.
Mhm.
See, so the thing is like when I come at you guys and I challenge y'all, the fact of the matter is, even if let's just say God is real, let's just say God is real, right? And later on in life, right, um, God comes back down, and God, you know, He would be using me as a way for you to challenge you in your belief in Him. You understand?
Step your
Uh,
game. Hmm.
even if there's a God, He put me here for a reason, to challenge you in your belief.
Hmm.
Yep.
So I'm not here to give you, turn you into an atheist. I'm not here to turn you into an agnostic. I don't want to turn you into anything.
That's
I
the
want
last.
you to I want you to be able to understand and know your specific God the way you claim to know Him. Okay? I'm
Amen.
so at the end of the day, you could say I'm being blasphemous all you want, but half of y'all ain't did the work that I've done.
I am a blasphemist. I mean, I take a little bit of pride in that, to be honest, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. You
Hey,
know what I mean?
somebody
I,
come pull up and talk to these dudes, man. Somebody pull up if you're feeling different.
right. Absolutely. I encourage anyone, if you want to come up and you want to
Pull up,
challenge me on anything that I'm saying, you are more than welcome
pull
to
up.
come up
I'm
and
the referee.
and challenge. I have no problem with it. I believe in more of a galactic power source is the nucleus of that link. Okay. So you're kind of more of a spiritual type person, right? That's what I'm getting out of that.
Spirit. Hmm.
Yeah, kind of more of a, maybe even a deistic belief system, right?
Maybe spirit and soul type of thing.
Right,
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah,
I don't want to
that's what I'm
I don't want
thinking.
to put words in your mouth, Gabrielle. Let us
Yeah,
know.
neither do I. I believe in invisible pink unicorn. I
Oh
believe in
God damn it!
fucking
It's in
purple
James's
and
pool.
yellow
God
polka
damn it!
dot fucking dragon.
The
So,
fucking unicorn is in James's pool. God damn it! Leave it alone.
well,
Leave the
look,
unicorns alone.
I'll give him his pink fucking unicorn because I want my purple and yellow polka dotted dragon.
I want to
Okay.
puff the magic dragon. I want somebody to smoke for me when I get tired of smoking. I just pass it to Puff and let him finish the L.
He said, "How is an atheist blasphemous? He has no faith to be loyal to." Motherfuckers don't even know the words they use, right? That's real shit. Let me ask,
He threw a nigga out there with that.
right?
He did throw a nigga out there with that on the low.
He get that one.
That's the man.
So let's ask this then, because I want y'all to, um, I kind of want to kind of talk about this whole idea. How many people in here have read the book or the Gospel of Judas?
The
Has
gospel.
anyone? It's the Gospel or the Book of Judas. It kind of goes by both books. Okay. Um, and if anybody, okay, I did a long time ago. Yeah. Um, so the thing is anybody that's read the Gospel of Judas would actually understand. It actually makes the Bible make a lot more sense, to be honest. But it tells you actually that the God that the people that believe in God, that they praise is not the true actual God. You see what I'm saying? It's actually the jokester God, right? And so there's two gods, all right, who are the creation of the world, but there's one God above him, above them, and that's the one and true God. Again, I suggest anybody who is watching go read the Book of Judas or the Gospel of Judas. You can get it for free on PDF online. All you got to do is look up the Gospel of Judas or the Book of Judas. The Book of Judas, not the Judah, Judas. Okay, I would really, really tell people to go check that out. Yeah, Judas. Thank you. You see what I'm saying? So, is there anyone that wants to come up at all? Anyone, let me know now. And I do encourage believers to come up. I really, 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 really do. I I, I don't want anybody to believe like I'm not going to. No, it's actually at one time it was part of the apocrypha books, but it was lost so long ago, and then it was refound. They actually refound it, and so they don't really consider it a part of the apocrypha anymore. Okay, so yeah, it's a very, very interesting book.
Revelation almost didn't make it.
Yeah, Revelation almost didn't make it. You're absolutely right. So because actually, you know what I'll do? I will actually pull it up for you guys. Book, uh, PDF, bang. Okay, so it is the Gospel of Judas. Okay, um, and right here it is, right here, the full text. Right here is the full text
Damn,
of the Gospel of Judas.
you don't play.
Okay.
I fucks with you in Illinois. Y'all don't play no games. Y'all will pull some shit up quick.
Yeah. I've been studying religion
That's how you
for
know this shit.
I've been studying religion for 25 years. Again, I don't do this to boast. I don't do this to. I've been studying this for 25 years. Tough, heavy. I went to I went to school for all this. I was supposed to take over my daddy's church. I actually still own my daddy's church. I just don't have anything to do with it because I am an atheist. So I
Yep.
don't think it's right for me to deal with that. You know. So
All good.
so I have a pastor. He takes care of everything, and I just kind of sit back. You know what I mean? I don't take no money from it. I don't fucking do nothing. I just let him take care of it.
Let it rock.
Yeah.
And that's some real shit. That's some real shit because you don't fuck with it. Don't mean that you got to shut it down. So that's definitely a good look. You know what I mean? Like you just let it rock. Let it be what it be. Live in that day. You know what I mean? Even though you feel different. I'm sorry, good. Go ahead.
My bad. I was saying I'm agreeing with you. That's the thing about an atheist. Their whole intent is not to sit there and shut everything down, all your organizations. The only difference that they're trying to make is that there's literally nothing that an organizational, a religious organization, can do or offer other than the supernatural that a purely secularist means can offer and can do the same thing. There's nothing.
Right. Absolutely. And I don't know if you got my invite, Chrissy. I think I already sent the invite. I don't know if you got it yet. Did you get it? Yeah. I already sent it. So if you wanted to come up, you're more than welcome to come up. Okay. Um, Also, only one specific group was bound to the Bible, and their people were on earth and permitted to worship other powers. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't really understand that. A lot of people think that it's a monolithic God, right? Just one God. But actually, the Bible actually came from or polytheism. A lot of people don't really get this. Before there was the one God, there was many gods, and it even acknowledges that inside the Bible. So yeah,
Pagans.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. And I see Chris. I see Chrissy Katz is trying to get up on here. I don't know if I'm
What
saying the
up,
name
Chris?
right. Right. What's up?
Yeah,
Hey, how
what
you
up, Chris?
doing?
How you doing, sis? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I don't know. I'm in an odd place because I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I know that religion is man-made, and so it was the Bible.
Mhm.
But I don't believe that we just die and we're nothing. I think we possibly. It seems like we return to the same energy,
Mhm.
a familiar energy, I should say.
Mhm. Well, and when we're talking in the quantum physics realm and we're talking about quantum consciousness, I would say there's probably a little something to that. Um, but on a religious standpoint, I can't actually agree with that. But I do think I understand what you're saying in more of a scientific quantum
Hmm.
consciousness way. I would have to agree with that one. You know what I mean? In the
Basically, I
Go
just
ahead.
didn't believe that you had to take one and the other. When I separated God from religion was, or whatever you want to call it, that was when I started to do much better in life.
Right. I would probably have to push back on that a little bit, but let
Hmm.
me get to this comment real quick. It
Oh,
said
go
in the
ahead.
Bible, there's something about a creature living in the marsh that has a tail the size of a cedar tree. Thoughts on that? Um,
Whew. Okay.
okay.
On
I
that
don't
note,
I don't
maybe
know.
go get something to eat.
I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to think about it. Like the Bible says a
Who
lot of different
knows?
things, right? And I'm not saying, you know, um, I don't know really how to answer. Okay, maybe, I guess, you know, and there's got to be something more than that, bro. So explain what you mean by that, and what do you want me to like give my opinion on? Like, if it's in the Bible, it's in the Bible. Like, that's the opinion. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? Okay, so flood stories. Even Native Americans have Jesus like story.
Fire.
One man died, huh?
Save everybody.
Nothing. Go
Uh,
ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
um, One man died to save all the tribes. Again, a story, uh,
Folk,
similar
folk,
stories.
folk tale, maybe.
Uh, yeah, a
The Native
serious
Americans.
stories that match other stories mean that they have similar ideals on certain things. It could actually mean a lot of different things. It doesn't necessarily mean that the story of somebody who coming back or a god showed up, right? Flood stories. There's a lot of flood stories across the world. Again, that doesn't mean God. It just means that there were floods. You see what I'm saying? So I don't really know if that's supposed to actually mean anything or hold any weight. So if you
There's,
could, go ahead, you
I,
guys.
I'd say there's actually zero evidence that supports the claim for the flood, but there's a lot more evidence out there that we can easily show with absolute proof, like we can use zoology, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
that immediately disproves the entire idea of an actual flood.
Mm-hmm. No,
I mean, you can
and
use
I actually agree with you. I think the last time we can say that there was like a kind of like a worldwide quote unquote flood, I think would be like millions of years ago,
it could have
before
been a really
humans
bad
were
rain.
ever around.
I would think of, yeah.
Yeah,
Possibly.
it could have been a really bad rain, sure, for so many days, but
You know what I
Right.
think?
to think that the entire world flooded like that, and then every two of every species of everything on
Yeah.
a he
That,
asked both. Yeah,
I can't lie. That's a tough buy right there. That's a kind of tough.
That's a real tough
When you
buy.
read that story, that's yeah, like yeah, or a tough sale for
Yeah.
someone to buy. That yeah,
I wouldn't buy that story. I mean, you're literally saying to
I
me,
can't lie
you
about
got
that.
you got two of every single species, but then
Gotta pay her.
on the clean animals, you bring seven of every species. That's what it says, and a lot of people miss that part
They
too,
missed
right? You right, and
that. They missed
so that's a lot of fucking animals, man. Right?
exactly.
That's a lot. You got carnivores, omnivores. You got
two of everything.
of everything, right? How the fuck did the kangaroo get to the fucking ark, right?
How about
How
the
the
elephant?
Right.
He
How did the
hopped.
fucking platypus get to? Yeah, but did it
How
hop
long did
on
it take them niggas to
water?
get there? Nah, niggas had to carry these niggas on.
Right.
I
Yeah, they carry these niggas on. Like, wait, somebody, yo, dog, get them
Right.
platypuses.
Did the
I
did the
I
did
think
the
it. Oh, go ahead.
did the alligator come over to the kangaroo and say, "Hey man, we got to go to the ark. Jump on my back," and swam over there?
No, the alligator came with a half a nigger in his mouth.
Oh,
He was hungry. Yo, get the
Yeah.
alligator. Oh shit, got too close. My bad.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chrissy. Chrissy.
Go ahead, Chris.
I think that if Jesus is real and God is real, it doesn't really matter anyway, because at this point, Jesus is sitting at the right hand of my magic sky daddy, your magic sky daddy, and he's saying, no, Pop. See what I did with the gift I gave him last time? I ain't going back down there.
Yeah, they fucked it up. They already fucked it up. We're not pulling back up. It's what
Well,
you're saying, that they fucked up. We're not pulling back up. Like, we're gonna just leave them niggas.
I think my biggest issue with the Bible is the idea of the sacrifice. I think I'm not gonna lie. The child killing is really bad.
Oh god.
The murdering of children, the rape of women, all that stuff is bad, but the sacrifice is one of the worst things that we can think of in the Bible. And the reason why is you're talking about an all-powerful, all-knowing God who supposedly came down, raped Mary, fucking forced her to have a child, which was his son, right? And then he killed him. So he killed his own son. And some people even say that that was God in physical form, which is bullshit. And there's no evidence of that at all. And don't try to use John chapter 10 on me at all. Don't try to fucking use John chapter 10 on me, because that shit is bullshit. And I'll debunk that shit in a minute. But some people say God came down in a physical form and died on a cross, which makes no sense. And some people said that was his son. Either way, he's either sacrificing himself to himself in order to, forgive all these people, or he sacrificed his son in order to forgive a whole bunch of people. Either way, why couldn't God just forgive all the people?
Why did they have to be forgiven?
Oh,
They didn't.
And why are people okay with the idea that God should be all controlling, that we shouldn't have a mind of our own?
right. And here's the thing. If you actually and this is why I find this funny, and I find people who claim to be believers in Christianity, I find it really funny for this. In the Old Testament, clearly says that no man can die for his son's sins. No woman can die for her daughter's sins. The fact of the matter is, we're all blanketed underneath sin for one action of who? Eve and Adam. Right? So there's the contradiction all in itself, right? The contradiction is I am born of sin because Adam and Eve ate a fruit you told them not to fucking eat, that you put right in front of them. Do you see how that works? But the Bible tells me I can't die for your sins and you can't die for my sins. We have to die for our own sins.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
listen. On that note, thanks for having me. I gotta eat, man. I'm starving like a motherfucker. I've been on for hours.
You already know. Have a
Thanks
great
for
night,
having me,
brother.
fellas. I wish I could contribute more, but this isn't really my field. You know what I'm saying? I just
Don't
come hang
worry
out
about
with
it.
y'all because y'all my dudes. You know what I mean? You know, it's all good.
Is that God? Thank you for coming on Sunday Night Smoke.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all have a good
Everybody,
night.
everybody follow Sunday Night Smoke. Make sure you follow him. Pay attention to his podcast. He puts on pretty good shows. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. But regardless, it's always entertaining.
Yeah, it's all opinion radio. We just do opinions, so everybody get to come up and do their own opinion. Like we
That's
don't,
right.
we don't do it. Yo, thanks once again for having me, fellas.
You're welcome.
Thank
I'll
you.
come harass you
Salute,
again.
citizen. Chris, see you later. All right, y'all. Peace. Y'all have a good night. Let me eat. God damn it. Later, y'all. Peace.
And right, and Joshua, I want to acknowledge what you said, and I do understand your point. Absolutely. When you said that brought the curse of death on the whole planet, you're absolutely right. But that death is why we are considered born of sin, and we cannot delineate the two. When we are born of sin, Adam and Eve were not created of sin. Adam and Eve was created of the goodness of God, and God saw that they were good. You see what I'm saying? God breathed life into his creation, Adam and Eve both, and God saw that they were good. In Genesis, we clearly see that. So again, these were good, and they did something wrong because they were tempted by God himself. They broke the commandment of God. They were by that, they were cursed with death and sin. You see, you have to understand that. And we all are born, according to the Bible, we are all literally born of sin. We come out of our mama's yoni, slimy and sinful. That's just what it is. Right? So I want y'all to understand that. I don't want y'all to get, and I know a lot of people, they oh, well, you lost everlasting life. You lost being able to live forever. You see what I'm saying? No, we lost that, but we lost our holiness. We lost our innocence. You know what I mean? We became sinners, and that's the problem. So it's a contradiction right in the Old Testament from Genesis all the way to Malachi, and you can look at this, and then it goes into that same thing, right? And you can double down on that, because then not only are we suffering for their sins, but then God God assigned Jesus to die for our sins.
Created the
Right?
loop.
Right. Again, but what did it say? It said no man can die for another man's sins. You understand? So it's a contradiction all in itself. It's one of the it's one of the biggest contradictions in the Bible that we have to pay attention to.
Did Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he go to hell whenever he died?
Who? Who?
Jesus.
According to some believers, they say that he walked through hell for the 3 days, right? But which wasn't really 3 days, right? But he went through hell, suffered in hell for us, and then was came back. You know,
Was that all he could take? Was that like?
I
Was
don't
that a
know, but why did he only have to go for 3 days, and I got to go for eternity?
exactly? That was
Why
my next.
do why do
Because fuck you.
Christians always try to defend what they're telling you with the Bible? If the Bible
Um,
was written by man and I don't believe in it, it doesn't really apply, right?
Well, the thing is when you have to, why do they go off and they try to stand up for the Bible so much? Is number one is if they can't do that, right? Then the religion itself falls apart. You see what I'm saying? It
Yeah, I do.
completely falls apart. And so they have to stand and try to justify it. So when you say, oh, yeah, God okayed slavery, and they say, oh, well, no, not slavery in the context that we're thinking, right? They're trying to justify it to make it seem not as bad as it really was, right?
Like if Tommy jumped off a cliff, would you? You
Right.
know, who do you think pushed Tommy?
All right. See? So and and then the question asked, did Tommy really fall off the right?
Yeah.
So the
If
thing
nobody
is,
saw it, did it make a sound when he hit?
right, right. It does sound like a huge cognitive dissonance. So I wonder why that is. Bible is the main source we have, especially since Protest. I can't even say the word right now.
Protestant?
Thank you.
You're
Can't
welcome.
even fucking say it right now. Much tradition is lost. A lot of tradition is lost. Absolutely. I will not argue that at all. He took all the expense paid trip, a round trip to hell, then came back here.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody do that. If we talking legends, the underworld is irreversible. Once you there, you stuck. Ask the Egyptians. Absolutely, I get you.
Hold on, hold on, hold
Um,
on, hold on. Who paid the expense? He's supposed to be paying something for me.
right. He was supposed to go through hell for you.
Yeah. So who paid his expense paid trip through hell?
That was just the sacrifice that he did for us because he had so much love for us. It's the self-sacrifice that he gave of himself for us. He didn't have a reason. He didn't have to do it. He did it for us, according to the Bible.
Mhm.
You feel me? And again, I find this, suspect at best. So, whatever, right? So I mean, at the end of this, I really want y'all to understand that, I and let me push back because I remember you had said I separate God and religion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm only going to push back on this on a technicality, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Only because I cannot stand it when people use this as an excuse. Not to say that you are right,
Right.
because some people just don't think about this, and some people don't care about it, right? But the fact of the matter is believing in God, any kind of God, is a religion. Period. There's not a difference between believing in God and believing in religion. And the reason why, and I really want to make sure people understand this. When you go to, I want to show y'all exactly what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here it is. Here's the definition. Religion, the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal God or gods. It doesn't say anything about what you believe about the religion. It doesn't believe it. It's strictly the belief. Religion is strictly a belief in a God. Period. That's it. That's it.
A god or a creator.
Right. The God, creator, whatever you want to call, all
Okay.
powerful. You see what I'm saying?
No,
And so,
yeah.
and so when people try to separate God and religion, it's a false argument, because as long as you say I believe in God, you believe in a religion. It's just a name for something.
Right. Yeah. I say God because that's what people refer to it as, but I don't think it's
Right.
a man or yeah.
Right. And Gary, calm the fuck down, bro. You and your unicorn having ass. Okay. Let me tell you something. Okay. I could have went to fucking the Webster's. I could have went to Britannica. I could have went to any of these. They're all gonna give the same damn the same damn definition. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop acting as if Google is just so bad. Stop that shit. That's disingenuous. You know why? Because that Google is exactly where you get all of your Jesuit conspiracy theories bullshit from. Stop it. Okay? And you get all your information from there. Stop it, Gary. Okay? Stop it, Gary. Gary, go live and show me your collection of 500 books about the Jesuits. I'll wait.
God damn it, Gary.
Until you do that, you're on the internet just like fucking everybody else. I'll be waiting. I already follow you too. I saw you live earlier. Brush your hair. Okay. All right. Most of the ancient people saw the world as everything had life and intention, even rocks. Right. Right. And the thing is I don't argue with that. I think that you can actually make an argument that everything has life. I wouldn't go so far as to say rocks, but I would say I think rocks is the offspring of something that's alive, right? So maybe volcanoes or some shit like that, right? You know what I mean? Compressing of shit, whatever, however rocks are made, right? But the thing is I don't. Yeah, that's GDM's crazy ass, bro. You know exactly who it is. That's GDM, bro. So the thing is I want people to understand that there is a different type of ideals. But the question I ask is, I understand why ancient people would believe in a God. Why do you still believe in their same God today in the 21st century?
I don't believe in their God. And I damn sure don't believe in the church.
Right. I definitely don't believe in the church. Ancient aliens. Right? It could have been. It could have been. I'm not going to sit here and say it couldn't have been. There's more likelihood that it could have been an ancient alien than a real god. Actually, I'll say that. So let me ask you something. How did you? Okay, so we already found. Blazing. Blazing. You already said. I believe in. I don't believe in God, and I just read it, and I just wasn't convinced after the book. Did you ever question that at all? And how much? And what did that road look like?
Did you say blazing?
Yeah, I said blazing. He's
Okay.
blazing some weed right now, so he probably didn't hear me. I don't know if he heard me.
Uh, that's why I asked what you said. In case
Yeah,
you heard.
blazing was blazing. He was worried about blazing weed,
Yeah,
not the question. So my question was this, blazing.
I'm not blazing.
that's what I
Oh
was gonna
wait,
say. That's
hold
why I
up,
wondered.
hold up.
I'm blazing. I'm not
Oh yeah,
blazing.
you're a good citizen. I'm sorry, blazing was up here earlier. I keep on tripping.
That's all
Good
right.
citizen. My bad. I apologize, bro. Um, so did you ever question that? Did you ever was like, you know, maybe I'm wrong?
About
Or do
my
you not
faith.
care? Yeah, about your faith.
Well, there's always
The
a
longest
possibility you
time,
could be wrong.
for the
Say it
longest time,
again.
for
There's
the longest
always a
time,
possibility you could be wrong. Unless I have absolute proof, I can't say that I'm right.
Right, 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 right. How many people believe in here? All the believers who are still in here. How many believe in intelligent design? Does anybody believe in intelligent design? Because I had a few people that said I believe we're random as
Hey,
fuck.
GDM, you actually spelled a few things wrong too, so I wouldn't go off on that one.
Are adding up to your.
I believe there's a lot more people here
Just
that
saying.
believe in intelligent design. They're not willing to say.
Say that one more time, a little bit louder.
I believe there's a lot more people in this room that do believe 100% with intelligent design and just won't say anything.
I think so
Okay,
too.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be dumb, but I have holes in my brain. What's intelligent design? That's like
It's
the
a
meteor that
theory.
hit.
Yeah, it's a
There's
theory that
Mm-hmm.
there
it
was
formed
some. Go ahead.
therefore.
You explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my bad. I was just being a smart ass. I was saying there's two trees, but there's a rock that's between it, and then the rock looks like as if it's formed around the trees, and it's got to
Mm-hmm.
be created.
Right.
It had to have been created for you to look at it like that and be such an awe. And then
Right.
there's a puddle of water.
The puddle analogy. I love that one. So the fact of the matter is just someone saying that there was somebody that actually fucking designed all of everything that we had, and from the start of the beginning of time, everything was designed to go a certain way.
But who designed it?
They're God usually.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, gotcha.
Because when you say intelligent design, there has to be a creator.
Right.
You use pansy euphemisms as they think it justifies, but it doesn't.
The designer was singular cellular organisms, and before that, random events. Yeah, I think there's. I actually think that there's actually a lot of evidence that shows life is actually very abundant, and that we just haven't reached anybody with intelligent life yet. But I think that intelligent life is out there. Um,
Why
that's
the
just
hell?
my. Yeah, why wouldn't there be? If we're here, why wouldn't there be intelligent life somewhere else? I think it's kind of narcissistic to think that there isn't life anywhere else.
Yes, very.
You know what I mean? Life is extremely abundant in our universe. Right,
I like that.
absolutely.
He says just not other universes. I don't know how you understand or know that.
Just just not other
There's
universes. Yeah, I don't know how you could know that either. That's a yeah. That's a tough. That second part is a tough one to swallow. You know what I mean?
What? Wait.
if you think that there's multi-universe. Oh well, I'm not a big multiverse guy.
Me either.
I'm an infinite universe guy, but I'm not a multiple.
There's
You
not
know,
enough information or evidence to support the whole multiverse claim yet, so I don't really
right,
entertain it.
right. Do you know the Fermi paradox? I have heard of the Fermi paradox. As a matter of fact, I watched something on it not too long ago. Um, how many people know what the Fermi paradox is?
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Never. Here, we'll do it. We'll bring it up. That's what we'll do. Okay, because it's at all right, here, that'll get it. Okay, let me paradox. And you guys can talk, man. Y'all don't have to you don't have to, you know. Okay, right here. This is it. Right here. Um and it is Fermi paradox seeks to answer the question of where the aliens are. Given that our star and Earth are part of a young planetary system compared to the rest of the universe, um, that the interstellar travel might be fairly easy to achieve, and the theory says that Earth should have been visited by aliens already.
Interesting.
Now, again, if you believe in something like ancient astronaut theory, there's the Fermi paradox right there. Right? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I actually believe in the jungle paradox or the jungle theory. Okay. Jungle theory actually makes a little bit more sense, and it actually does not need aliens to be here, but still can mean that there is intelligent life somewhere else, which is basically this. If I'm in America and everybody was in America and nobody had ever been to like the Congo or the Amazon River, right? Um, do leafcutter ants exist or not? Right? Well, they exist, but I ain't got no reason to go to the Congo or the Amazon. So therefore, I don't know that they exist. They're way over there. Right? Now think of that in a very bigger fashion.
That's
Right?
exactly how I feel about scorpions and roaches.
Right. And so the thing is my so the jungle paradox just basically says that we're in a galaxy that's brand new. And just because we haven't found any intelligent life here, doesn't mean that there's not intelligent life out there. And that they just have no reason to come here. So that's why we don't interact with them. They have no reason to come over here. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they haven't been able to reach interstellar space like we can't yet. You know what I mean? They might be at the same level we are. Who knows? There's a lot of different reasons on why that could be true, but
You
that's
ever
what I.
heard of a theory about about serpents?
Which theory? There's so many of
I
them.
There was one I died laughing. It killed me, but I was like, that's such a weird way to fucking look at things. That there was these serpents that run the shit, that actually run the universe, that run everything, and the multiverse and all this other shit, and that they've already come to Earth
Hmm.
and they not to destroy us like they've been destroying everybody else because they could actually use us at some point, but we're just too fucking stupid to stay here. They just look at us as if we're dumbass. Like when they look at all of
Yes.
the
Yeah, I
universe,
heard this. I heard this. I
Isn't that like reptilians or something?
yes, yes,
basically,
Okay.
yeah, basically the reptilian thing. That's a GDM type situation. That is a GDM conversation. Okay, it's the Jesuits and the fucking
Well,
reptilians.
that
Okay,
shit blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck?
that's what that was.
So
That's one of those type things. Yeah, I don't get me wrong. There is a very, 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 very interesting video online. You can go to YouTube, and it's called the Luthia interview. Okay. And it supposedly, yeah, this is that David Icke shit. Supposedly, the interview is actually with a reptilian being, and it's like 2 hours long, and they give you all of the history. And
Yeah,
in
that's
the yeah, and in the video, basically, they say that we, the humans on the planet, have the dinosaurs wrong. Yeah, there were a few dinosaurs, but most of those bones that they've collected, the fossils that they collected, were actually reptilian people put together in the wrong way.
I got nothing.
Look, I don't know. I'm just telling y'all what they say. I'm not saying I believe this shit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm
the
just
way
saying.
like throughout the interview is interesting. Like how he's able to just get composed the entire time. Like hats off to you. But what
Right.
strained you before you came up with that shit? I want to know.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting. How would you come up with that kind of shit? And you know what, damn it? You know what? Someone told me that Jesuits created atheism and shit.
What?
Yeah.
Jesuits are just a Catholic order, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gave
The,
Catholicism up for Lent.
right. Somebody sent me to this. Someone sent me to this website, a Jesuit website.
Hmm.
Um that they wrote on there. Jesuits created atheism. I was like, y'all niggas is dumb. No, they didn't. Stop it. Hey Gary, you know what?
The
I
Jesuits
got a
believe in
question.
God, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Um, I got a question, Gary. Do you believe in the Albert Pike letter? Do you think the Albert Pike letter was real? Watch this, you guys. Watch this. Do you believe the Albert Pike letter was real, Gary? This is his conspiracy shit. I don't get into conspiracy theories. I think they're all bullshit.
I think that pe- people who think that everything is a conspiracy drive me nuts. I mean, if everything is really truly a conspiracy and all things that they say are being hid from us, what's that say about how stupid we are?
Yeah, I
I mean, you just
agree.
called your people stupid, really.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree. And Albert Pike, the Satanist, fucking scumbag Jesuit rat. Yeah, I believe it. Okay, how many people know who Albert Pike is in here? Do you know who Albert Pike is? No, no. Okay, Albert Pike. They claim Albert Pike wrote a letter. It's called a Three World War letter.
Hmm.
Um, and Albert Pike basically said the Jesuits did everything. He's part of the Illuminati. There's going to be three world wars. Um, the fact of the matter is, that whole letter is a lie and is bullshit. And Gary, if there's one way that I can break the spell of this conspiracy theory, I'm going to let you know. The Albert Pike letter was completely fraudulent, completely and utterly fraudulent.
All right, look, I made up the Illuminati in my past life because I was bored. I didn't know it would go so far, okay?
We're in a cold war, bro. No, I'm literally telling you. I'm not lying to you. The Albert Pike letter is not motherfucking about three world wars. The fact that it was, and I've already disproven it, bro. I've showed exactly where it came from, and I can show you exactly where everybody got it and all the people who pushed that theory. It's absolutely a fraud. Okay.
Was nay fraudulent.
So the Albert Pike letter was supposedly founded by this dude, this guy, and just recently, right? But he got it from the word of somebody else, and that guy got it from the word of somebody else, and that guy got it from the word of another guy, and that guy got it from, and it all dates back to a gigantic hoax that was the Illuminati. Okay? Literally. It was based upon, it was quite literally based upon a bullshit paper that was in a newspaper in 1891.
Yep.
It's all fake. It was a story that was completely made up because the guy who wrote the story actually didn't like the Jesuits, but he also didn't like the Catholic priests.
Did he work for the Washington Slimes?
He said, did he work for the Washington? No. You know, I'm just saying. The Jesuits rule over the Illuminati. Look, brother, I can't I can't help you out if you don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I'm
know,
telling you right now that I did it, and you keep going. I mean, what more proof can I give you? I was there
yeah, yeah, that's yeah.
in a past life.
Yeah, in a past life. I'm gonna trust that. Totally 100%.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
Now
Totally 100%. Right.
I gotta
The
hop off
Illuminati is real.
for the night.
All right, then, bro. I'm about to close it up pretty soon too. So I appreciate you coming in. Good Citizen. Everybody follow Good Citizen. Give him a follow and go check out his content, man. So I thank you for coming up, bro.
No
It's
problem.
nice to meet you. Good.
Have a good one.
So with that being said, you guys, I think I am gonna probably call it. It's been fun, and if you guys want, maybe I'll get into. I think I still have the presentation for the Illuminati. Still, let me go through my follows. Let me go through my some of my other shit. And if I still have the paper on it, I'll literally do the breakdown of it and I'll show you exactly where all that shit comes from. I don't usually do a lot of conspiracy theory stuff because I'm not about it. But I might do it one time so people will stop bringing that shit to my doorstep.
I just think that it's dangerous to do that, to put the false information out there.
I think it is too. I think it's very, very dangerous, and I think we need to be careful of what kind of information that we're putting out there. Because if you put out too much like bad information, what ends up happening is that people start making decisions based upon lies,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you're not able to make decisions, and you're not able to actually, get to the truth unless you know. You go out of your way to disseminate all these things. And a lot of people are just not doing their due diligence on a lot of this work. And like I've spent months and months and months and months and months and years on a lot of the shit that I speak about. If I speak about it, I've put in time on this shit.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I usually don't like to speak on shit that I don't know nothing about. Like you'll never hear me up here talking about, computer shit because I'm not no computer guy.
Oh no, if I don't know something, I'll be the first to
You
say,
know,
"What's that?"
right. Just don't read DMT. Uh, that's in the air that rains. Oh, you talking about acid rain? Is that what you're talking about? If Pike was lying, no, I'm not saying Pike was lying. I'm saying it was a forgery. There was a Albert Pike letter, but the letter was not the Three World War letter. And when you read the actual letter, it has nothing to do with any kind of three world wars. And the fact of the matter is, when he's talking about the light bringer, he's actually not talking about Satan. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, 16th century Illuminati shit. That's where all this shit comes from. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. But I gotta do the CRT scope stream first. So I'm gonna do the CRT. I'm gonna do a full complete breakdown of critical race theory, critical theory, and the and how they're trying to use the critical race theory ideals that they're trying to promote to literally hide history, right? But after that, I will do the, you know what? I will. All right, Gary, I'll do it. I'll do the Albert Pike. You know what I mean? I'll do the Albert Pike after I do the CRT stream. I'll do it. Albert Pike lived around the Civil War. He was a Freemason. Yeah, he was. Yeah. So I will. I'll do the Albert Pike after I do the CRT. I have to do the debunking of the CRT. So I will do that after that. All right. So with that being said, y'all, make sure you come back, support your boy. You know what I mean? Just asked me an hour ago, what is that? I had to look it up, so I need to know more. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we've actually talked about CRT a lot on here because I'm really it's not that I really want people to learn CRT because I think CRT is a really you have to understand certain things when you're talking about critical theory and understanding critical thought, and you have to understand what it's doing. And in short, a short idea of CRT is it's a critique and it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a critique, but it's also a when you look deeper into something. What is that? When you look deeper into something, when you um
Um,
you know,
investigate.
like yeah, it's like it's a oh, I know there's a word.
Inquiry.
Inquiry is a good enough word,
Yeah,
but there's a specific word I'm
you're
looking
right.
for,
There is.
and I wish my boy Black Light was in here because he would know exactly what I'm saying. But it's a critique on um, how race has affected people in the United States. An investigation, probably an even better word. It investigates and then it critiques race and social and judicial situations.
Mm-hmm.
So primarily, yeah, challenging laws that oppress naturally. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh, challenging these, yeah, an examination, absolutely, right? And it's, I thought humans were just one race. I guess I was wrong then. You can believe that, but we stopped believing that when white folks created race. So yeah, you know what I mean? And we still espouse to that. I know as individuals, I know some people would like to say, oh, we're just the human race. I know people like to do that. But the fact of the matter is, we still acquiesce to the idea of race in this country. So to just sit there and say, well, there's only the human race is kind of disingenuous in the idea of when we're talking about America. Because the fact of the matter is, we do pay attention to race. White people created it, and we still use it to this day. This is why every time you go turn in an application, they ask for race. That's why when you do the census, they ask for race. That's why race is real, right? And so, but it's like dogs. They are dogs, but they're all different kinds. Yeah, you could say that, but we differentiate
Differentiate.
those different dogs by pedigree, right? But we do it for us by using race, right? So our living it up while others are oppressed. Yeah, and the thing is that people who don't like CRT, right? People who don't like CRT are people who don't want the history to be put out there, because then you're forced to recognize the ills and the ill-gotten things that people have received simply because of through their race, through their pigmentation of their skin, because they felt that they were superior to another group, right? And
Mm.
so this is a very big thing. And I think it needs to be examined, because if you can't examine the history, the social history and the judicial history, then you're not going to be able to understand how race detrimentally affects people who have more melanin and darker hues in them. You see what I'm saying? And when you do that, then you're able to deny things. And when you're able to deny things, then you don't have to take accountability. And if you don't have to take accountability, you can always act like it never happened. You see what I'm saying? So it's a problem. And it's gotten even bigger of a problem because under this ideal of CRT, what they're now doing is they're going to Texas. Texas just eliminated and banned the requirement of teaching about the KKK, the requirement of teaching about
Oh my gosh.
history, slaves, took away the requirement to teach all of these things, right? And not only that, but they also said, well, if you do teach it, you can teach it if you want, but if you do teach it, you cannot tell people that these people were morally wrong. Basically saying that you cannot call out the KKK as being morally wrong. You see what I'm saying? And they're using it under this smoke screen of, well, that's CRT. You see what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter is, you know what I mean? Oh, like the Nazis not hiding their Nazi histories. Well, the Nazis, here's the difference between the Nazis. Yeah, the KKK does still exist. The difference of the Nazis and America is this: the Germans are actually paying reparations to different groups, i.e., the Jewish people, to the other groups, the Gypsies. They've been paying reparations. They gave an apology. They're paying reparations. They're paying back what they owe, right? So what they're trying to do more so is they're trying to, trying to eliminate it. So you don't talk about it no more. And yeah, that's a problem, right? And
But
you have to know that history so you don't repeat that history, right? But they've actually done more for the people that they've oppressed more than any other group, especially here in America. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure that we understand it. I personally think you have to prove, you have to, and I mean across the board, you have to teach all of history. Not some of it, not part of it, but all of it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a way better approach. If America paid reparations to black folks, you know what I mean?
they go broke.
Yeah, they would. But I mean, but
But
at the same time, it would be more than what they've been doing thus far. Because all they've been doing thus far has been saying, okay, but that was so long ago, can't you just get the fuck over it?
what?
Ignoring everything that came after it.
What about the 50s and 60s?
Right, and that's the part that they're ignoring. They're ignoring 1860, 1865, 1866, 1870s, 1880s, 1890s, 1900s, 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they're ignoring. You see what I'm saying? And this is actually one of the big arguments against reparations. Well, they're not the people who were enslaved. Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is we had no legal standing, so we couldn't take it to court and sue fucking white folks for enslaving us. So now we technically in 1968 got equal rights, right? So since 1968, we've been trying to get reparations, and they keep on saying, well, you're not the one. Yeah, but it was my family.
Yeah, it was a wrong that was done, and
Right,
you have to be accountable.
right. And I'm
I
still
mean, you
affected
don't
by it.
have to be, but you should be accountable.
Right. And I'm still affected by it. I'm still affected
I
when I'm driving down the street in my car and I get pulled over because I supposedly matched the description of somebody that who knows if they're real or not. You know what I mean? When
oh
I when I walk into a store and somebody fucking stops me when I walk out and they said you stole that, but yet I got fucking receipts of all my shit. You know what I mean? When I'm shot in the street because fucking, I was resisting, yet a white dude can not only shoot a cop, beat a cop, but jump in his car and drive off and they still won't shoot him and kill him. See, the fact of the matter is I'm still affected by these lingering things and many people are not. And so
mhm,
I am still owed that because it's not just the free labor, but it is the crimes against humanity that I
mhm.
still suffer from and I still have to deal with, right? And so a lot of people don't really want to stand up and start admitting that because then you have to kind of look at
But
yourself in the mirror.
I don't think that they're. There, no, there should be no statute of limitation on that. Are you
There is no
serious?
statute. There is no statute of limitations on crimes against humanity. And the fact of the
Right.
matter is with if we want to fucking talk about the statute of limitations again, you have to again pay attention to what I just said. From 1865 all the way to 1968, black folks were not able to fucking go off and get equality or even get justice in a courtroom. So the argument of the statute of limitation has passed is a bullshit argument, and it's only an argument because there is no other argument. You see what I'm saying? Outside of, oh, it's past the statute of limitations. Why is it past the statute of limitations? Well, crimes against humanity isn't. This is why we still see Nazi fucking guards fucking being put up for trial still today when they're 90 something years old, when they're 80 something years old, and they still put them in prison. So crimes against humanity does not have any kind of statute of limitations. Crimes against humanity is a ongoing thing. It never has a statute of limitation. So that's a nonsense argument.
I mean, have you ever like studied, Ronald? Have you ever like studied the things that were done, the things that happened? I mean, that makes me irritated.
So if you have damages, you should be entitled to compensation for those damages. That's enough standing to sue. Yeah, but the problem is the court, the federal court does not accept the standing because they don't believe that they committed crimes against humanity, which means you can never get a fair trial in America. That's number one. That's the biggest problem. The number two problem is when we're talking about damages, the damages is wealth disparity between the races, between the groups. When we're talking about different things, social, economic, educational, all of these damage are quite literally right in your face. So the damages are still there, and we're dealing with the vestiges of that damage to this day. And so the thing is they just America does not feel that they did anything wrong.
Right.
You
You're
know what I mean?
absolutely right.
Yeah, and they won't take it, and they won't accept it because they don't believe that what they did was wrong because technically to them, well, it was legal. You see what I'm saying? And so they say, well, nothing's wrong with that. It was morally wrong. It was morally bankrupt, but that's it. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it plenty. And
right, and so that's the biggest problem. So the first one of the things, if black folks really want reparations, the fact of the matter is we're probably going to have to go to an international court in order to get said reparations. That's number one. Um, the thing is Wiggy, you said reparations are unrealistic. They're not unrealistic, and the examples is this. Watch this. I'll show you.
I got one. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead because I'm gonna pull something up. So you go ahead.
Okay, well, for me, if reparations are so impossible, how is it that so quickly when COVID happened, they were able to dispense what billions in money to help? I mean, how can you can't say that there's not something wrong with that?
So hello. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna show y'all something. Okay. All right. So watch this. I believe this is the right website. Here are all the reparations, and this is from UMass libraries and UMass in Amherst. Okay, and they have documented every single case of reparations that's been given since 1700s to the present.
And there's only one group missing from that list.
And it's ours. The fact of the matter is Native Indigenous people have gotten reparations. The Japanese have gotten reparations. Even the Jewish people who were not even fucking treated wrong in this country have gotten reparations from this country. To say that reparations for black folks is unrealistic is a bullshit claim. It's a claim that is being disproven by this long ass website right here. Okay. And here, I'll put this in the room also. So to make the claim that reparations are unrealistic is a lie coming from any American in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That is, and there's the link right there in the room. And you can go look at the reparations that's been given fucking for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the thing to for anybody that says that reparations is it's unrealistic, well, it wasn't unrealistic in fucking 1783 and 1863 and 1865, 1866, 1878, 1924, 1927, 1934, 1944, 1946, 1950, 1956, 1950 or 1962, 68, 69, 1970, 71, 74, 80, 80, 85, 85, 90, 86, 88, 89. Okay? And 1993, 94, 95, 97, 98, 99, 2001, 2002, 2005, 2005 again, 2005 again, 2007 and 2008 and 2008 and 9. Those are all the years that reparations were given out to all other groups except for black folks.
And why isn't it that the Indians was too long ago to give reparations to? Because they were given them.
Right. I mean, the native indigenous people are consistently getting reparations. The reason is because, okay, a lot of people don't like to hear this, but I'm going to give you the truth. The honest truth is because white folks never intended black folks to be free.
Mm-hmm.
And there needs to be a permanent underclass. And, you know, whether white folks want to admit this or not, white folks do not mind the permanent underclass to be black folks, as long as it's not theirs. As long as it's not them, they don't mind. They don't really give two shits. I know this is kind of blurry. You see what I'm saying? They even gave reparations, just for all of y'all that don't know, they gave reparations to the ex-slave owners. Hawaiians, the same thing. The Hawaiians aren't even people. The Hawaiians are not, they're not considered people. Again, these are darker skinned people. They took over the island. Again, we're talking about a group of people, right, that were forced to be a part of America. They was literally forced into it. Okay? And so they act as if the white government acts as if, you know, at the end of the day, well, they chose to be a part of us because of the year that they became a part of America, right? But the fact of the matter is they were actually forced. And if you actually know about how Hawaii became part of America, then you'll actually realize that they were forced. Literally. Okay? So there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of things out there that people don't want you to actually understand. And the thing is black folks is a perfect underclass. They are the perfect underclass. They weren't supposed to be citizens. They weren't ever supposed to get out of slavery. Right? Well, if they're going to get out of slavery, well, then, you know, we can at least keep them down there. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the ideal. Again, in order for to have an upper class, you need a lower class. That's the only way that shit work. You know what I mean? Didn't Africans sell their people to America? Okay, so this is and I get this question a lot. This is a very sticky situation. The bottom line answer is yes, but it's a little bit more nuanced and complicated than that. What it is you had people that came into Africa that bought slaves from Africans. At first, they bought slaves from Africans, other Africans, but Africans had a certain type of slavery. And I'm actually going to pull up the book. I'll even show you the book because I have the book. And it's very important that people actually know this. And I want y'all to know this shit.
Can I say something while you're
Yeah,
looking that up?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Again, I stand by. If Tommy jumped off a cliff, would you? I mean, you say, well, black people enslave black people. So what? That doesn't make it right.
Right. But what it is when people say that, it's actually a way to absolve any responsibility. Well,
Mhm.
you know, they did it to him, so why is it wrong, right? So
Yeah.
the book is called The Life of Oluda Enrico, and I'm going to show it to you. Okay, here's the book, and I hope you guys can read that. And I'm going to spell it out to you. His
Okay.
name is spelled Olaudah. His last name is spelled Equuiano. Okay. Now this is just one book, but there are many books like this. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, if you actually read this book, and this was actually written by him, okay, and he was a slave for an African master and a European master. And he says it himself that I had never received a beating until I got with my European master. Okay. He later got free and then he wrote this book, and he was actually well regarded as a great author, things of that nature. But he tells about the differences between, in this book, he tells about the differences between European enslavement and African enslavement. Okay. And when we're talking about African enslavement, you were an African slave if you had a debt, if you were a prisoner of war, if you were if somebody was needing help for like an extended family member, let's say they can't take care of their kids and they brought them in, things of that nature, right? And so what you learn, it was more of an indentured servitude, but it was even better than indentured servitude in the sense that we know indentured servitude, because even POWs, prisoners of war, of these opposite groups, they were still given an education. They were still fed correctly. They were still kept healthy. They were given their own beds. They were given their own rooms. They were not treated like less than. What they were actually, they were treated as humans. They were just a part of a situation, right? And then and that was the norm in Africa. That was the norm, right? And then what happened is after the Africans started realizing, wait a minute, what they're doing isn't quite what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was the white folks started, primarily the Portuguese, but the Portuguese and the Spaniards, but also the Brits and the French and a whole bunch of other different groups, right? They also came in, and they came in with the gun. And they said, look, either you get us some slaves and we'll pay you off with these guns and we'll pay you off with all these things that we have, or we'll just enslave you. Your choice. So it was kind of, well, you'll benefit if you help us, but if you don't help us, well, we'll just take you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, African nations started fighting back. And a lot of people don't know about these, the insurrections and the fighting back. Queen Nzinga fighting off the Brits and the Italians and the Spaniards, right? And they fought. And so the misconception of the idea that black people sold black people into slavery, that's just it's just a bullshit statement, because technically it's true, but it's a lot more nuanced than that. So yes, Africans did sell other Africans into slavery, but it was based upon not understanding their idea of slavery compared to theirs. They assumed that European slavery was exactly the same as theirs, and it wasn't. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. The Zulus fight, and the Zulus fight hard and tough. You know what I mean? So this is, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to understand how the whites, and the white folks justify it by just saying a simple state. Well, Africans sold Africans, right? And they just say, and then they go off to say, well, white people were enslaved too, right? But honestly, these are bullshit arguments anyway. And I want y'all to understand that these are bullshit arguments, you know what I mean? Because the fact of the matter is, we're not talking about, when we talk about slavery, we're not talking about you being white people being slaves to other white people because the Romans thought they were, or the Germans enslaved the Brits, or the Brits enslaved the Irish. We're not talking about that, because we're talking about
happened in America.
Right. That we're not talking about the other country. We're talking about what happened in America. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the thing that people need to understand. On top of that, let's just make one big more point. UK ended their slave trade well before America ever did. Well before. I believe almost 50 years before. You see what I'm saying? So to keep on bringing up that stuff, it's a bullshit argument. It's a very, what's the word I can use? It's a disingenuous argument. And that's what that is. It's just a disingenuous argument.
Ignorant thinking.
In Africa, a slave were treated humanely and worked off debt. In America, those same slaves were seen as animals. Not even animals, they were seen as property and treated like animals, right? So so these are a lot of, it's a form of pushing the blame. And again, I don't sit here and say that the Irish did not get treated shitty. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I think the Irish should be going after Brits for reparations. You see what I'm saying? But here's the problem. You know why Irish, and a lot of people say, well, the Irish are slaves, but they don't bitch about it. No, they don't bitch about it because they know it's useless to bitch about it, because they're still under the jurisdiction of the fucking UK. That's why they don't bitch about it. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is we have to understand what it is. That's up to, GDM. I'm not going to get in that aspects of it. The fact of the matter is, all I'm saying is they were treated like shit, and they've always been treated like shit. And the IRA was fighting for their freedom. And whether you agree with their philosophy or how they went about things, that's not for me to decide. They were fighting for their freedom, and they were fighting for what they felt was equality. And I'm not the one to sit here and tell the Irish people that they shouldn't do it. Who the fuck am I to do that? I can't do that. It's kind of like, if the Aboriginals started bombing fucking Australians, I'm not going to say that the Aboriginal are wrong.
Right, exactly.
I'm not going to do that shit. The Aboriginal literally, I think we froze up. The Aboriginal literally fucking have been slaughtered and full mass extinctions of tribes. Who am I to say that them going around bombing a whole bunch of cars in fucking places is wrong? I'm not Irish. I'm not Aboriginal in Australia. I'm not Haiti. I'm not motherfucking the Congo, and I'm not, I'm not none of these people. So I can't judge that, and I'm not going to judge that. It's not my place to. It's
Right.
not my fight. You know what I mean? I respect the Irish decisions to do what the Irish want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I look at it. There's also another book called the Life and Times of Josiah Henson. That's another book that will give you the same tell you the same shit as in this book. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of people that will tell you things, but they don't study, and so we cannot just accept bullshit arguments such as, black people enslaved black people, and that's how we got the slaves. Can't do that. It's just a bad, disingenuous argument. You know what I mean? And so, and CRT actually goes into all of these things. You know what I mean? Critical race theory. There's critical race theory, and then there's critical race theory. There's critical race theory, and then there's critical race theory for Latinx. There's critical race theory for Asian, critical race theory for white, critical critical race theory for all groups. And it's an examination, a critique, and an investigation on the history of what race has done to those particular groups.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. You know what I mean? So, and technically we're 5 groups. How is it? It's black, white, red, brown, and yellow. So black is African, brown is Latin, white is Caucasian, obviously, red is Native Indigenous, and yellow is Asian.
I'm glad you explained black and brown that way. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's just that's how race was, because race was created by Johann Blumenbach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another fellow also with them. So when we understand race, it was created that categorization was put there in order to give people status.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made in order to give a certain type of status. Comparative ethnic studies equals critical race theory. Absolutely alive in history. Thank you. Where do white, Caucasian, Hispanics fall? As far as when you say white Hispanics, you're saying Hispanic people who pass as white, correct? Super extra light skinned Latino folks. Spaniards are European. Latinos are the what comes from indigenous people of one land mixed with Spanish blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Spaniards are Europeans who speak Latin. Okay, let me say that again so everybody understands. Spaniards and Portuguese are Europeans who speak Latin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is okay, and this is what's so crazy, because bringing up Cuba, and this is why a lot of black folks ain't got no love for a lot of Cubans, because at the end of the day, the Cubans, right? The Cubans before Fidel Castro, the Cubans that were in power were the Spanish Cubans, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Fidel Castro came into power, what happened then was a lot of the people there were native Cubans, which were Afro-Cuban and dark-skinned native indigenous Cuban, like Taino and shit like that, right? Those motherfuckers were treated as less than. Okay, the darker skinned Cubans were treated as less than. Fidel Castro came and took out the Spaniards, and the people that are fleeing out of fucking Cuba are the Spanish Cubans. No, you see what I'm saying? They're not the native Cubans. Most of the native Cubans love Cuba. You see what I'm saying? So you, and again, I don't get into the politics of Cuba too much. I just know the history. And so the thing is what they're going through now, whatever, it's not my problem. You know what I mean? But I was never mad at Fidel Castro. I'm not. Fidel Castro, he went out of his way to help try to stop apartheid in South Africa. He wanted to help Libya with Gaddafi to create a new fucking dollar that was going to be for the Libyan people and the African people. It was going to be an African currency that would have completely wrecked all other fucking forms of fucking economics in this country. Fidel Castro was good, but he was bad. Look, just like every single fucking leader out there. You know what I mean? But who isn't greedy? And that's the question. And Fidel Castro got it greedy. Let's just be honest. But what do they say? Absolute power absolutely, or corrupts absolutely. Right? Right?
Yeah.
So that's the problem with power. Right? That's the problem with power. And a lot of people, you know, they want to act as if, you know, they don't get it. So I'm not saying that good, you know, what the fuck is, you know, Fidel. I don't know if Fidel Castro was the worst person or the best person in the world. I think it's a matter of debate. So, you know. Any other questions? Anything else before we get the fuck out of here? Because if I keep on going, I'll really
keep
start
on going.
Because I can do. Look, I can. You know, exactly. Depends on who you are. I can do this all day. I can show you a book about who the first natives on America were. Nobody's gonna like it. Everybody's gonna hate it. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, "Oh, you're blackwashing everything." Yeah, okay. I got evidence for it. What you got? You know what I mean?
Evidence, yes.
So it's kind of like it is what it is. You know what I mean? So anyway, this was fun. I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed being able to talk religion again. It was fun. I enjoyed this part of the conversation also. So, you know, hit me up. Come join us the next time we're on. I think Wednesday we have a show. We're all black deep inside our DNA. Well, well. Let me keep my mouth shut on that one real quick. We might keep my mouth shut for real on that. You ain't leave that shit the fuck alone. Cause I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound like, you know, I don't want people thinking I'm racist. But, you
that
know.
always bothers me when people go, I mean, not you, but like when people go, I'm not racist, but, and I'm like, you realize the but negates everything you said.
Right. It pretty
I'm
much
not
does.
racist, but.
But see, and here's the thing: we're not all African. We're not. Okay. There's no evidence of that. As a matter of fact, the fact of the matter is, honestly, a lot of people aren't gonna like hearing this. Europeans and black folks are technically two different species. Yeah, and I don't deny that you have African in you somewhere down your lineage. I don't deny that at all. But what I do kind of fight back on, I fight back on saying we're all the same, because we're not. DNA proves that. DNA actually proves that and it backs it up to say that nah, we're not all the same. We might be pretty fucking close. We might have some things that match, but I cannot sit here and tell you that we are all brothers and sisters. White folks descend from the Neanderthal line. Black folks do not. If you find Neanderthal blood in most African people, what you will actually find is that they have less than 0.2% of Neanderthal in them. Then you go and you find out that white folks and European folks tend to have between 2 to 7% of Neanderthal in them, and that is their closest relative is Neanderthal. And so when we break this down, and I actually have a video of this, of a genetic teacher actually talking about this. When we break it down, where, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Let me, because you won't find this lineage, and what we also actually won't find is we actually won't find any Neanderthal that skulls or fossils that were ever found in Africa. A lot of people don't really understand that shit, but yeah, um, you don't find Neanderthals in Africa at all. You know what I mean?
Is there Bigfoot in Africa?
Is there a Bigfoot in Africa? I think they have. I think they have a legend of some sort of Bigfoot, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But I think they
Just
do.
curious because a lot of other places do, and I just thought I never heard one about that.
Right. Like I know for a fact they have a sloth legend, a giant sloth legend.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they have a dinosaur legend, like a Brachiosaurus or a Brontosaurus legend. Um, but if I remember correctly, I think there is at least one or two legends of a Bigfoot type monster. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that works. And I will find this video the next time we're on, but I'm going to show you the video, this genetics. It's a really interesting video. I used to play it all the time. He used to play that shit all the time, just to piss people off. You know what I mean? But we can get into a lot of this shit. You know what I mean? I just like to um, make sure that we can have a good conversation. Nah, don't feel bad at all because I actually love these conversations also, bro. I'm very, very here it is, as a matter of fact. Let's see if okay, here we go. Watch this. I'm gonna play this. I'm actually play this. I'm gonna play two things before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So one is this, and I want you guys to listen to it um as close. I'm gonna turn it up too. So if you can mute yourself, and I'm going to mute myself also,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to play this.
Now, really, this is going to sound silly, but this is really, really important cutting edge genetics. One of the areas I'm really lucky I'm blessed to work in 3 distinct areas of biology: immunology, genetics, and reproduction. And on the genetics side, I get to go to conferences and hear about advances in genetics in all species. And I was just at one a couple of weeks ago down at the Cold Spring Harbor Lab in Long Island, and I learned a bit about what's being known about the genome of Neanderthals, the genetic makeup of Neanderthals. That the genome sequencers, like led by Svante Pabo, who works in Germany, has taken tiny little fragments of Neanderthal bones, isolated DNA, and determined the genome of the Neanderthal, and used that information to determine, using genetic methods, how long ago Neanderthals and humans were a single species, where the common ancestor was. They've also been able to compare human genomes and ask the question of whether there's any evidence of Neanderthal genes in the human genome. And they found that there is. And the amount is quite significant, upwards of 5 to 7%. Neanderthals used to live in the Neander Valley. It's, you could have called it the Cayuga Lake Basin, but that's where they lived. And out of Africa came the modern humans, and the word the geneticists use is admixed. They admixed with the Neanderthals. And they all used to live in caves in those days like this. Came out of Africa, admixed with the Neanderthals. This was the Neanderthal territory. There was another group of Neanderthal-like creatures called the Denisovans. They lived up here in Siberia, and they have their genome has been sequenced. They were distinct from the Neanderthals. And so you can find in people of European and Asian ancestry evidence of about 7%, 5 to 10% of your genome is common with that of Neanderthals. We've been separated from them for 30,000 years or so. And in some of the tribes in Papua New Guinea and those islands out there, there's evidence for a different kind of genome, which is probably the Denisovan genome. And they might have 7% Neanderthal and 5% Denisovan. So they might be 12 or 15% different from us. And in fact, the Africans who came out from Africa have no evidence of any Neanderthal genes in them, no evidence of admixture. So they're the real pure humans, Homo sapiens.
So there it is. Now, the thing is I want y'all to pay attention to that, because they've been doing some more research, and they've been actually finding a little bit of Neanderthal genetics inside of them. Okay. But the funny thing is it's not the normal Neanderthal that we think of. It's most likely a precursor to what we know as Neanderthal. And then you have to also understand that there was, at a very minimum, 4 different types of Neanderthal. Okay? And so the thing is when we sit here and we say, well, we're all the same, that's not necessarily the truth. Now, there was an admixture, and there was more ability to procreate with Homo sapiens sapien rather than Neanderthal. And that would be expected if you understand where Neanderthal was living around the Caucasus area, the Neander Valley area, and the European area, right? And during this time period, it was very cold. So it was a little bit different for procreation, because you had a lot more miscarriages, you had a lot more baby deaths. You see what I'm saying? And being the modern human, the modern Homo sapien, they were in a warmer climate, a climate that was a little bit more closer to ideal conditions to procreate consistently, right? And so when you had Homo sapien go out of Africa, what you now see is the admixture. And so it's not that white folks came from Africa. White folks was admixed from Africans. So you see, and so it's slightly different. It doesn't mean, it's kind of like the best way I can put it out there is you can get two different type of dogs, right? You can get a pit bull and a Rottweiler, and they have sex together, right? And they can still procreate, right? And what you end up having is you have a hybrid. You have a hybrid of pit rot, right? Same with tigers and lions, right? They can procreate, they make a liger, right? Horses and zebras, same thing, right? And so what we're seeing is the ability for evolution to take place in admixing, in sex. You see what I'm saying? And so that is where the for me, with all my research that I've done, that's where the delineation cuts. I don't say that we are the same. I say that we are similar. And we are similar enough that we are able to procreate with each other. So I don't necessarily say that we all came from the same place. That's not necessarily my belief, and I don't think the evidence passes that up. I don't think the evidence shows that. You understand? So that's all. That's, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. You know what I mean? I want you to understand that, procreation and the ability to procreate with other species who are similar to you is possible. And this is how we came to where we are today as being Homo sapiens sapien. You understand? And we were talking about it last Wednesday. I would actually tell anybody, go get a book by an author by the name of Michael Bradley. Go get the book. It's called, hold on. Actually, let me actually grab the book. Yeah, let me just grab the book real quick. Hold on. All right, this book is called The Iceman Inheritance. Okay, Iceman Inheritance by Michael Bradley. It is prehistoric sources of Western man's racism, sexism, and aggression. This is a great book. It talks a lot about Neanderthal lifestyle, and it talks about why certain people do certain things. And there's a large chance or a large possibility that people are doing things because of fear of extinction and things of that nature. Because there was a time that white folks was not just was a world minority. Well, there's technically white folks is still a world minority, but they were a lot lower of a minority. Okay. Today, white folks, European folks, make up about 7 to 8% of the global population. At the time that we're talking, when we're talking Neanderthal, yeah, white plight, absolutely. When we're talking Neanderthal, we're talking probably less than that. We're talking probably 3 to 4% of the population. We're talking about a species that lived for about 160,000 years, 140,000 years or so. And died off right around 45,000 years ago. Okay. So a lot of these things are kind of explained in the type of shit that we talk about here, actually. So, there it is. And I hope you guys, if you guys got any more questions, I suggest you ask now, because I'm answering the questions right now. And if there are no more questions, then we're going to be done. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know. But this is, yeah, don't worry about it, bro. Don't even worry about it. So I am going to play one last video. It's a Nelly Fuller Jr. video that I would like you You are the true Illuminati. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will take that as a compliment. Um, I will absolutely take that as a compliment. Because Illuminati just means to enlighten people. So yeah. I think this is a very important thing. Again, I'm going to give credit to who deserves the credit. This video is actually um, and thank you, sir. Thank you. This is by Hip Hop Cartoons. All credit goes to him. If you want to go check out more of Nelly Fuller's things, he puts out a lot of different cartoons. Some people don't like them, some people do. Um, but I think this is a really good thing that people pay attention to. Um, and Dr. Nelly Fuller Jr. Was a man who spoke to Black folks about racism, white supremacy, and everything that's going on and how it will end up shaping our future. And I'm gonna play this, and after I play it, I'm just gonna end the stream. But before I play it, Chrissy, do you have anything you want to say before we get out of here? Because I'm just going to after this, after it plays, I'm just gonna end. So, you said no? Did you said no? I think she said no. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So real quick, I just like to say thank you for everybody that came in. Please join, follow, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, turn on them notifications. If you want to contribute, please send awards. Thank you for the people. Special shouts out goes to everybody who gave a reward. Alive in History, Sunday Night Smoke Podcast, Gemini Twix. Thank you, 3, for the awards. If you want to throw down fucking a donation on the Cash App, it's $ Reality Check VR. Again, $ Reality Check VR. Ronald, again, thank you for that award. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're going to be back on Wednesday. We'll be back with my boy Rob of Blacklight Revelations. We're going to do our weekly show. And we're going to talk about all the things that we're dealing with today, like we always do. So Wednesday, right around 8 p.m. Western Standard Time. We might try to get it to drop it down to about 7 o'clock Western Standard Time so we can try to get more people in. But thank you very much to everybody that joined. Thank you for everyone that joined into the conversation that we had. Even the people who don't agree with me, thank you very much, because that was appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. What's that Hawaiian time? So it'd be 5 p.m. Hawaiian time, because I'm in California. Hawaii is 3 hours behind me. So right around 5 p.m. or so. Kind of look out for our notification right around 5 p.m. if you're in Hawaii. All right. All right, man. This is Nelly Fuller Jr. Great dude, really smart dude. This was actually something that was said way back in the early 80s. So I want you guys to keep that in mind when you listen to this, that this was said originally right or in the 80s, and how it's still completely relevant today. All right. Hopefully it will not fucking start giving me problems. Hold on real quick. I'm going to end that. And hopefully it will play all the way through. All right. So with that being said, thank you for your time, your energy. Stay real, stay black, stay doing your motherfucking thing. And if you are anybody else of any other persuasion in here, hey, keep on being you. All right. Stay up. And real quick, I want you guys to make sure you're able to read this. It says, if you do not understand racism or white supremacy, everything else that you think you understand will only confuse you. And that is the truest statement of all time. All right, let's keep on going. I won't be interrupting it anymore.
We're doing four basic things: racial showcasing, racial population tailoring, racial dislocation, and white sacrificing. And these four things are designed to produce maximum sophisticated confusion among the victims. And so far it's been somewhat successful worldwide. Now I'll start with the first one. What is racial showcasing? That means taking huge numbers of black people and putting them out front. There's going to be more of this all over the planet. Many millions of black people that you will see who will be rolling in money. They'll be able to showcase the places where they live. They'll be able to showcase their knowledge and expertise. So you have television now, you have all of the mediums for doing this, for showcasing huge numbers of black people. I will say it will eventually run into the millions, so many that you won't be able to count them. Now, what is this for? This is for any black person that starts talking about racism in the future is going to be laughed at, because they're going to be able to showcase so many black people who are what you call quote unquote successful, that it will seem that racism has been put out of business. But white supremacy is a world business, and like any other business, it works on profits and losses, which means percentages. You go into business, you expect a certain amount of loss. If you're in the grocery business, well, you might have a load of asparagus that is spoiled. But overall, you will make more profits than you have losses if you're going to stay in the business. Now, so the white supremacists know that the cost of doing the business of white supremacy is going up. They can no longer get away with Joe Louis and Lena Horne like they did years ago. They have to have many more black people who are going to be showcased. I made up this term just to explain it. You have to make up terms, because they won't make them up for you. So now that's the first phase, or one of the first elements in the maximum confusion. And so that black people won't be able to say, they'll say, well, you know, it must be something wrong with me that I'm down and out and don't have a biscuit to eat, because there are so many millions of black people who have so much, so it can't be a race. But see, for the 4 or 5 million black people who will be showcased, there will be hundreds of millions worldwide who won't have a biscuit. That's the way the business operates in the future and will be. That's the way it seems to be going according to what? The evidence, according to the logic. The other is racial population tailoring. That's number 2, meaning they're going to be killing huge numbers, either directly or indirectly, of non-white people. When I say black people, I mean, you know, non-white. Anybody who's in a non-white category, and doing this on an ongoing basis. Not to try to kill them all, because when you're in the business of racism, you don't kill off the thing that you need in order to keep racism going. Your ego trip, which is what it's really all about. But you do tailor the population so you can keep them controlled. So you'll kill off a few million in the Congo, then you'll, few years up the road, you'll kill off a few million in Nigeria, and a few years up the road, you'll kill off a few in Mexico, and on and on and on. And you will highly select the places where you do this. You'll have it all computerized, where you kill off huge numbers, or you have them, even better still, kill off each other, like you do in most of the cities in the northwestern part of the world, called the northwestern hemisphere, having black people gun down each other, you know, non-white people, the brown people gunning down each other, gangs and all that other foolishness, see, and you kill them off, you know, and you just keep this going, and you egg it on, and you put things in place that will see to it that it just keeps going that way. It never stops, because that's the mentality of the people. And this is racial population tailoring. In other places where the people are reasonably sane, they don't have a tendency to kill off each other. Then you do things like dry up the water, or poison the rivers, dump toxic waste. There's all kinds of ways to do that racial population tailoring. All right, then the other, number 3, is racial dislocation. Keep them moving. People who are forever on the move through urban renewal, gentrification, or here again, drying up the river. You build a dam 800 miles up, and the river seals off the water behind the dam. I mean, the dam is sealed off, the river is sealed off behind the dam. So that means that all the people down in the valley there, they don't get any water. They need water. They depend on the fishing industry. So now they have to come and work for you because there's no more water there, no more fish. And you give them minimum wage and a promise for the future as long as they look up to you. So they'll know they're completely dependent, but keep them moving. If a black person in the Northwestern Hemisphere starts getting that second generation house, then you come through and say you got to build a highway. That's the technique. Now, these are things that you asked about how the white supremacists operate. These are the ways that they operate. The white sacrificing is the fourth. And this is, here again, all four of these things are of maximum sophisticated confusion among the victims. So you're not confused. You're keeping your victims confused. So you have white sacrifices, meaning it's kind of parallel to the racial showcasing. But these people in this case are white. Like in any army, any military operation, you know you're going to have some losses. So some white people are written off under the system of white supremacy. And a lot of white people are aware of this. They don't like it, but they are told that this is the cost of doing business. Just like a person who goes into the army and knows full well you might get killed, but it goes with the territory of trying to defend your bigger operation. So white sacrifices mean you'll have more and more white people on park benches, more and more white people begging on streets. They will be greatly visible. But what you won't pay attention to, because black people never pay much attention to what white people are doing, we just watch each other. See, they know that. You'll be passing millions of white people who are doing well on any city street. And for the handful of white people who have fallen through the cracks, you might say, sitting in front of the subways or begging in front of these delicatessen, for the handful that you see doing that, up under the bridge and all like that, it will give the illusion that it's not about race, that white supremacy is officially out of business. So there will be more of these white sacrifices, and they will be greatly visible. But compared to the number of white people who will be prospering, it will be very negligible worldwide. Now those are the four maximum sophisticated confusion elements.
Yeah, and I don't know what the background is. It's just drums. It's some drums and shit. So, you know, but yeah, I hope you guys understand this, and I hope you guys really, pay attention to this, because at the end of the day, this is exactly what's going on right now. We see every single portion of this going on right now. So, pay attention, open your eyes, and don't be fooled, man. Don't be fooled. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Stay up. Stay doing your thing. You already know if you want to fucking follow me on any of my shit. How do I find this? What do you want to find? This particular video? Go look up, and I'm gonna. I'll actually bring it up. Right there. Look up Nellie Fuller Jr. What are the white supremacists doing now? What are the white supremacists doing now? It'll be under hip hop cartoons. And it's a great, if you check this out, if you follow me, I don't know, ER, if you follow me, cool. I don't know if you follow me at all on anything, but if you follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook or something, hit me up on there and I'll send you a whole bunch of shit. If whatever you want, I can send it to you. Don't even okay. Well then just send me a message, right? And once you send me a message, I'll send you links to whatever you want. And if you have an iPhone, I'll send you to a place where you can actually get most of the books that I talk about for free. All right. So just do that shit. Hit me up. All right. All right. So I am out of here. I'm gonna fucking sit back and I'm gonna watch me fucking a movie. Think I might watch fucking some Snake Eyes or some shit. So I don't know. So with that being said, man, I really do appreciate everybody for coming in tonight. It's been fun. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for, dealing with me and listening to what I got to say. You don't have to, because without you, there is no me. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful night.